Yo, RX back with another weight class overview. I'll look at the weight class going into the year, I don't know, whatever term you want to use. We have, for our fourth time, which means we're in our fourth weight class, we are now at the lightweights going into 2026. We back with our fourth weight class, and it is just like the last two, very good. What can I really say about lightweight? Maybe not as prestigious of a bout as featherweight, I don't think any bout is, but talent-wise, it might be the best. Hopefully it doesn't take almost 3 hours to talk about, wishful thinking, but yeah, lightweight, it's a phenomenal weight class. It has been for as long as I can remember. Has lightweight ever been a bad weight class? It's definitely not now, as much as I think the rankings might be at, or they are weak to say, like some of the guys who are ranked are a little bit bullshit. Like, I think featherweight's kind of the same issue. I think bantamweight and flyweight are a little bit better in that category, but lightweight's still a great weight class. The talent, the legends we got in there. If the champion actually showed up and fought, it would be nice, he's off doing something. Yeah, it's lightweight. What can I really say about it? It's, as most people would say, the best weight class. I struggle to disagree in that debate, even though I do think you can have a debate about it. And, overall, it's just a really good weight class, so what more can really be said? And again, better than flyweight. Probably better than featherweight. Bantamweight would really be the debate there. But it's fucking lightweight. What else needs to be said? Again, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't take 3 hours to talk about, but I would not be shocked if it did. So, this one, welterweight's gonna take 6 hours. They have like 90 fighters. But, yeah, lightweight has some great fighters, some legends, some prospects, some cans. I'm excited to talk about it all, so shall we do just that? I think we shall. But before we do, as always, the last thing to say before we get into it is, of course, the normal YouTube bullshit, and that is, have killers. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Turn subs goal by the end of 2025. As always, unless I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am, because the last time I spent on this intro was better, since, this could easily take another 2.5 hours. Shall we get into our fourth weight class? The light guys, the lightweights. Maybe the best weight class going into the year. Strong debate to be made there. I'm excited to talk about it. So let's do it. 3 down. Let's get number 4 down. Weight class wise. Hope y'all enjoying this so far. I'm enjoying doing it. Not for 2.5 hours, but it is what it is. Let's get into number 4. Let's get into the 155ers. Beginning, of course, as always, with the champion, the best fighter in the UFC right now, the best fighter on planet Earth right now, the reigning, defending, hopefully sometime soon defending lightweight champion of the world, the best fighter in the world at the moment, Ilia Topuria. What can I say about Ilia? Where the fuck is he? Because he should be fighting in a few weeks. But outside of that, what can I say about Ilia? It's Ilia. He's the best fighter in the world. There's no one who can beat him at lightweight, at featherweight, fuck out welterweight. And if he's not vacating, which hopefully he's not, then he's just not losing. It'd be nice if we knew where the fuck he was and he was fighting instead of dealing with some fucking stupid ass divorce no one cares about. Shut up and fight. Outside of that, yeah, it's Ilia. Who doesn't? Well, a lot of people don't like Ilia, mainly people who know he beats their favorite fighter, but that is what it is. Yeah, what can you really say about Ilia if he doesn't vacate the belt, which I guess it's still a debate if he's going to. If he doesn't vacate, he ain't losing it, and He just needs to show up and fucking fight. Again, he should be fighting Paddy in January, but he's fucked off to go do something, caring about some dumb bitch. So hopefully, we see him fight sooner than later, and he's not vacating the lightweight belt, but, we'll see. But, yeah, outside of being annoyed that where the fuck is he and he should be main eventing the first card of the year, it's Ilya. What bad can you say about him? He's the best fighter in the world. No one can beat him, and, yeah, not much else to say. Is he gonna be champ by the end of the year? If he decides he's going to be, yeah. No one's gonna beat him, though. If he wants to keep that belt to 2027, he's gonna keep that belt to 2027. He would still be featherweight champ right now if he really wanted to, so what more can you really say? So show the fuck up and fight already. Where the fuck are you? That's about the only negative thing I can say about him. Aside of that, he's the best. Pretty simple. And then we get to the very interesting top 15 of lightweight. All the guys chasing Ilya, none of them have a chance against him, including the number 1 ranked lightweight, the man who I agree is getting fucked out of a title shot, but also he's kind of fucked himself out of it. The man who I guess you can say has the best chance against Ilya, but he still has no chance. The number 1 ranked lightweight who's still not fighting for the belt. Lol. Arman Tsarukyan. So, I've said before, like, I get why Dana and UFC kind of hates this idiot because of what he pulled a year ago before the Islam fight, pulling out right before it. So, I kind of understand that. And then the stupid hooker headbutt, like, he can only blame himself for the UFC hating him. So, do I think he should be fighting for the belt? Yes. Do I think he'd beat Paddy and Gaethje? Yes. Do I think he stands a chance against Ilya? No, but no one does. But again, I understand why they're not giving him the shot. He's too stupid. He's a fucking idiot. And he's fucked himself. Is he? If Ilya vacates and runs off to go do whatever, is he the best lightweight at that point? Yes. Arman is an amazing fighter. He truly is a great fighter. But, guy, can you blame the UFC for thinking for fucking hating him? I can't. I truly cannot blame the UFC for hating this guy because he's a fucking idiot. And the dumb shit he did in 2025, the Islam pullout and the Hooker headbutt and then beating Dan Hooker is meaningless. Can you blame him? I can't. As good as Arman is, can you blame him? So, I can't, but whatever. Will he get his shot in 2026? More than likely. I think he should fight the winner of Max and Charles, and then whoever wins out can fight for the belt. But we'll see. We'll see if Ilya does vacate, then no question Arman's fighting the winner of Gaethje Paddy, so and he's no question gonna beat him. But we're gonna have to wait and see. We're gonna really have to wait and see. I'm intrigued. Again, does he deserve it? Yes. Do I get why they're not giving him Yes. It's a double-edged sword, and again, I can only say and disagree if you want. If you think about it, it's true. Arman can only blame Arman. He screwed himself more than the UFC ever could, so he should have just fought Islam on a bad back and lost, because he was not going to win anyway, so he's praying for an Ilya vacation. Would that be the... I don't know how that would work, but we'll see what happens. He should fight the winner of Max and Charles, more than likely, and yeah, we'll see what happens with Arman. Again, I get why the UFC hates him, even though he is really good. Arman can only blame Arman at the end of the day. Next, we have the number 2 ranked and one of the guys who's already booked for a fight in 2026, so what can you really say? We're going to be talking about him plenty in a few months. And we have the number 2 ranked lightweight, funny enough, the second greatest lightweight of all time as well, the former champ, one of the greatest of all times in general, the legend, the first bout Hall of Famer, etc., etc., the number 2 ranked lightweight, Charles Oliveira. Yeah, Charles is still hanging around, man. He's still a top guy in this division, even though he is on the older side and probably doesn't have the most fights left. He's still kicking around. Gonna fight Max in March in a fight I cannot wait for. And, yeah, he still got it. He's still one of the best in the division. He's never gonna touch the belt again. He's not gonna beat Arman. He obviously can't beat Ilya. Good Gamrot win. You know, Gamrot was a complete layup. Charles still got it. I think he has 3 to 4 fights left, more than likely retiring 27 or even early 28. Depending on maybe even the Max fight, depending on if he does not do too well in that. And yeah, what both can really be said about the second greatest lightweight of all time, one of the greatest of all time in general, already has a fight booked for this year. First bout Hall of Famer, maybe again, could be going into his last fight, but I struggle to believe that. What more can you really say? It's Charles Oliveira. If you really need to waste a lot of time talking about Charles Oliveira, you're clearly doing something wrong. The champion has a name, and it's Charles the Bronx Oliveira. Let's see if we can get the BMF belt in his collection. Let's see if we get how many more fights he has left. One of the greatest of all time. See how much longer we get to enjoy the Bronx. And speaking of the BMF and Charles' opponent, let's get to him. And with the number 3 ranked lightweight, one of the greatest featherweights of all time, one of the greatest of all time in general as well. We have the man defending the BMF against Charles in March. We have Max Holloway, the number 3 ranked lightweight. Yeah, pretty much everything I said for Charles kind of sticks to Max. One of the greatest of all time. Really does not need much of an introduction or a story to be told. I think he still has a lot of time left. Not a whole bunch of time left, but still has some time left on the clock. Doubt he retires anytime soon. Maybe late 27, probably more in 2028. I think it's only like 34, 35. So he still has some time. He's still really good. Again, another top lightweight in the division. Does he beat Arman Aurelia? No, but again, still top guy in the division. Defending BMF champion, which is meaningless, but at least it gets us cool fights like him and Poirier and Oliveira. And yeah, we'll see if he can defend the belt in March. Then I think him and Arman would make more than enough sense. And yeah, then see what happens from there. So. Again, it's funny that the first 3 guys we've talked about are all way better than the 2 guys fighting for the interim belt in January. Yeah, that's funny. But, yeah, Max, again, first bout Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest featherweights of all time, still really good, probably not going to retire this year, or even 2027, I have doubts. One more needs to be said. Can't wait for the Charles rematch. We'll see who wins that, and I would say fights Arman. Pretty simple. The best is blessed. See if that still holds true in March. Pretty fucking simple. I don't need to waste much time talking about 2 of the top 15 greats of all time. Pretty simple. And then after that, we got the number 4 ranked lightweight who would tell you he's one of the greatest of all time and all that, even though he's far from. We get to one of the 2 dudes fighting for the belt in the first card of the year, even though neither deserve to be, but you know, sure. We have a man who will tell you he's one of the best and deserving, even though he's not, and he's just an asshole. The number 4 ranked lightweight, Justin Gaethje. Yeah, now we get one of the more unlikable guys in the division. Even I don't think Arman's that unlikable. He's just not funny. Gaethje's just an asshole. And for a while, I think we were able to look past that because he was having fun fights. But now, that is, fights are kind of shitty, if we're being honest. Let's be honest, the Fiziev fight was forgettable. The second one, even the first one's kind of meh. The Max fight, outside the knockout, sucked. Like, what was his last great fight? Poirier? That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Almost, so. And I don't think the Patty fight's gonna be too good, so. Like, he's always been an asshole. I've said that for a while, that if he wasn't such an asshole, he would easily be the most likable guy in the UFC. But now that he's not that exciting, and he's an asshole, it's like, yeah, he's just a fucking asshole. And again, I've always thought that with Gaethje, and it's good to see more people are saying that, because it's true, he is just kind of a prick. I'm gonna retire if I don't get the title shot. Dude, you don't fucking deserve it. You don't deserve it. You're 1-1 in your last two, and you beat Fiziev, who's I won't call him ass, but it's like very mid. So, in a shitty fight anyway. So, like, what the fuck? What the fuck are we wasting time here pretending like you're some. Your fights are not that exciting anymore. You're just an asshole. You don't deserve a title shot. You have the least out of the top 5 guys in this division. You have the worst chance against Ilya. He's just an asshole. I don't know what else to really say. And now his fights kind of suck. What else can you say about Gaethje outside of he's just an annoying asshole? So that's pretty fucking simple. I don't know really what else to say. We're gonna be talking about him in a few weeks. So will he ever finally win the belt? No, but he can pretend like he has a chance, or even if he thinks he did, good for him. He's just an asshole. Pretty simple. But somehow, for as much of an asshole as Gaethje is, he's still the more likable guy. And between him and his opponent, who is the number 5 ranked lightweight for some reason, off of doing less than nothing to deserve it. They have the last of the top 5. The other guy getting the interim title fight in January, even though he's done less than Gaethje to deserve it. You have the most unlikable dude in the division and one of the most unlikable people on the roster. The number 5 ranked for no reason, Paddy Pimblett. What can be said about Paddy outside of he's not good at all, and the UFC has pampered him more than anyone I've ever seen, more than O'Malley was ever pampered, and you know it's true. Yeah, he's not good. Like, Paddy's honestly a terrible fighter. Like, what has he done? Lost to Jared Gordon, who's good, but it's like, if you want us to believe you're some top guy, that's not it. And then has looked shitty, fine against awful fighters, against awful old fighters, and who, if these guys were 10 years younger, would have wiped the floor with Paddy. Like, this dude's a joke. This dude's a fucking joke. Is he gonna win in January? More than likely. Does he have a fucking chance against Ilya? No. And that's what's gonna make it great. I cannot wait to watch Ilya knock Paddy's teeth into the 9th row, and I wish it was happening in a few weeks, but Ilya's off doing fuck who knows what instead of fighting, and instead this dickhead gets to beat up Gaethje, which, oh boy, to the worst guys in the top 5, and what is there to really say if he's not good? He's the most pampered fighter in UFC history, and he sucks. It's that, like, nothing's gonna convince me Paddy is good until he actually beats someone good and looks good doing it, and he has done neither. And Gaethje is not gonna be that. So, what's there to really say? The dude's a pampered tomato can. If he wasn't pampered, he would never sniff the rankings, and he would have been smashed by unranked guys who are levels better than him. So, but instead he got the old dude fucking Tor, and he's been looking subpar against him. He's gonna look subpar against Gaethje just for really to punch his fucking teeth in. So, what more can you really say? The dude, the pampered can. It's that simple. He's not good. Nothing more needs to be said. So there you go. That's the top 5. Starts good, gets worse, and guess what? 2 dudes are fighting for the fucking belt in January. Yeah. So, great. Let's get to the rest of the top 15 with our number 6 ranked, the first guy outside the top 5, and another guy who, let's be honest, is not good and has no right to be ranked, but still has done more than Paddy. We have the number 6 ranked, Dan Hooker. Another guy who, again, has no business to be ranked or ranked this highly, and he's not good. Can we just be honest and say Dan Hooker's not good? Like, what has he really done to be looked at as a top lightweight? Like, what? lost to Arnold Allen. Fucking beat Puelles, which means nothing. Jalen Turner, which means nothing. Gamrot, which means nothing. And Arman beat him with ease. But he had a great fight with Poirier. Yeah, that was 5 years ago. Like, what the fuck has this guy done? He's not good. He's a failed featherweight, and he's been a fucking mid-lightweight. Let's be honest. There's unranked guys who would beat him with ease. Fucking Chris Duncan would beat him. Fucking Ignacio Bahamondes, more than likely. Terrence McKinney would beat him. He's better. Hooker's not good. He's so lucky he's what, friends with Izzy, so he gets special treatment. The dude's not good. He's entertaining. I'll agree, he's very entertaining. But is he good? Is he the 6th best lightweight on the roster? No. No, he doesn't deserve to be ranked at all. So, and at this point, he's gotten older. I think he's like 36. And I think he's a dude whose career screams BKFC or some shit like that. I could 100% see him fighting Mike Perry or Jeremy Stevens in BKFC in like 2 years. Because he's gonna... Benoit's Hondanese gonna wipe the fucking floor with him. And then what? He's gonna lose again and get cut, or his contract's gonna run out? Like, the dude's not good. He's never really been. What's his career best win? A Paul Felder fight? Most people don't think he won. Mateusz Gamrot, who's awful. So, yeah. Gilbert Burns? Like, come on now. So... I don't know what you really want me to say. I'm being honest. He's just not good. And it's that simple. So he's entertaining. Never gonna debate that. But talent-wise, he doesn't have it. He only has got this special treatment and ranking because he's friends with Izzy and Volk. Let's just be honest. Benoit's gonna fucking kill him, and that's just gonna be exposed again. So I don't know what else to say. Entertaining, but really that's about it. But then we go to, speak of the devil, someone Hooker beat, and a guy who does not have entertaining or skill. The number 7th ranked, the worst fighter we've talked about so far, and that says a lot actually. The boring can that everyone knew was going to lose to Charles if you were smart. The number 7 ranked, for some reason, Mateusz Gamrot, aka what, a slightly better Polish Grant Dawson. Like, this dude sucks. I don't even know what you want me to say. Gamrot's awful. It's that simple. He's never really been that good. He lost to Arman, Charles, Hooker, every legit guy he's fought. He's beat no one, RDA and Jalen Turner. And that Jalen Turner fight is probably bullshit. Yeah, this guy sucks. He's boring and he's not good. Like, I don't know what... He does not deserve to be ranked at all. Another case where there's better unranked guys. Oral By and fucking Manuel Torres is ranked and debatable if he's, but like, you know what I mean. Frasiam's way better. Like, Gamrot sucks. I don't know what people want. He was never gonna beat Charles, and of course he had no chance against him. He's just a boring Polish Grant Dawson. He sucks. That's simple. He's never been good, and he never will be. He sucks. It's simple. The worst guy we've talked about so far, and that says a lot. So, there you go. After that, we got another bad fighter. Wow, we start off so good, just to hit a real streak of shit. And now we got the number 8th ranked lightweight, another undeserved ranking for a guy who's not good and a complete fraud at that, but he didn't win his next fight. Now we have the number 8th ranked, another bad fighter. Can we get back to good ones, please? Benoit Saint-Denis. What am I meant to say? We already know he's a fraud. We saw the Moicano and Poirier fight, but look what he's done since. What? Beat a can, and a can? Ooh. Yeah, it's so obvious what's gonna happen with Benoit in 2026. He's gonna beat Hooker, and then sometime in the middle of the year, he's gonna fight one of the higher echelon guys. Like, let's say Charles, if he loses to Max, or Gaethje, maybe, or something like that. He's gonna get his fucking head beaten because he's not good. Dude, think about what Arman and Aurelio would do to this guy. If Moicano blinded him pretty much one of his eyes by beating his ass, what the fuck would good fighters do? Poirier knocked him out in 2023. A washed Poirier. And that's not an insult to Poirier, but still, like, Moicano destroyed this guy. This guy's not good. I don't care that he's on a 3-fight winning streak in 2025 against garbage. He's gonna get one more win against a garbage Dan Hooker, and then he's going to lose to a top guy. It's that simple. And he didn't even look good in that fucking prep. He looked awful against Preplik. He just cuddled Rufy and Dariush's ass. So, I don't know what you want me to say. So, until this, if he can beat one of the top guys like Charles or Arman, I would give him his flowers and say, okay, he's not a fraud anymore. But he's just what, a bona fide Rambetsky, a guy who takes a lot of damage and is tough. Ooh. I don't see anything until he does anything impressive. He's gonna beat Hooker. That's not impressive. Dude's still a fraud, and it's that simple. I don't know what else you want me to say. He's still a fraud until he proves otherwise, and beating Dan Hooker is not gonna say otherwise, so there you go. Next, we get to a guy who's not as bad as the last few guys we talked about, but I kind of think it's a bit overrated. I just don't see a whole lot with this guy, at least like ever since he lost to, what was his first loss? Gaethje? Ever since that fight, I've not seen much of this guy, and we have the number 9 ranked lightweight, the very underwhelming, I guess, Rafael Fiziev. Fiziev is fine. Dude, I just think he's a bit overrated. He's cool. Like, what has he, like, ever since he took that Gaethje loss, like, what has he really done? Like, this should be a no contest. He lost to Gaethje again, and then looked very subpar against Bahamondes. He's fine. He's gonna beat Rufy easily, because Rufy's garbage, but yeah, I guess things to do is kind of, like, I don't think he should be in the top 10. Like, yeah, top 15, sure. He could be, like, number 13. But, like, a top 10 guy in the division, no. I think there's unranked guys better. I'll take Chris Duncan, Faraz Ziam, like, guys who are, I think, are actually just better. Like, Fiziev is cool, but I just think he's a bit overrated. And yeah, I don't know. I can't shit on him like I have the last few guys. I don't think he's that bad compared to those guys, but I just don't see anything that special. And Charles would have beat him easily. A lot of guys would beat him easily, who, like, Max and Marmon and Ilya would rip him in half. And I just think he's kind of a little overrated. He's cool, like, number 13 in the division, but number 9, top 10, hyped up. I don't see it, so he's gonna easily beat Rufy, but then, like I said, it's been a while, I think he's gonna fight up and get beat, so he's cool, but it's like, like, he's kind of just he's just underwhelming and overrated. I guess is how I would describe Fiziev, which is not insults, but just kind of like, we can be honest, he's not on the level of the higher echelon of the division, so, but again, Ziam's better. Let's just say facts. Next, oh god, we got a bad streak right here. Let's get through the streak of garbage real quick. Beginning with the number 10 ranked lightweight for some fucking reason. I don't know why he's still ranked. Oh yeah, because he ducks that's not a rumor, it's a confirmed thing by fighters. We have the number 10 ranked guy, probably on his last legs, about to lose in March. Hanato Money Moicano. Damn, remember when Moicano was cool? Like, before that Islam fight, he was really cool. Then he dropped his arm, looked cool. That's awesome. Then he looked like shit against Benny, started declining, and started saying no to unranked guy fights. And now he's kind of just like, when are we getting this guy out of the top 15? He's, I think, is he 38? Like, how fucking old is this dude? He's like, he's like in his late 30s. He's balding, 36. yeah, he's just at the end of the road. Let's be honest, he was never that good. You know, I like more great person, very funny person, but was he ever that good? Like, we gotta look at that winning streak. Brad Riddell, crap. Drew Dober, that was a shit fight. Jalen Turner, he really lost that fight, and Benoit talked about ass. Again, Dariush destroyed him, and Ortega's about to destroy him. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Yeah, I think I don't think he's gonna retire because he needs the money. But yeah, I won't be shocked if we don't see much more Moicano. Another guy who I could see doing like fucking DBX or boxing or some bullshit. He'll box Jake Paul. Yeah, Ortega's gonna beat him pretty fucking easily, like he did 10 years ago, and yeah, Moicano's just around his last legs it seems. So, well, not it seems he is again. Beneil Dariush beat you if he's. What else needs to be said? Yeah, Moicano was cool. Now it's kind of just like he's still here. Oh yeah, 'cause he's declining in fights against younger guys. Gonna lose to Ortega. What else can I say? I get he needs the money, motherfuckers, but yeah, no, the gimmick has worn off a bit. So there you go. Speaking of the guy who just schooled Moicano, let's get to everyone's favorite dusty son of a bitch who have never heard of a comb or hair dye. We have the number 11 ranked lightweight for some fucking reason. The always been terrible and overrated, and I've been telling you all that for years, and it's always been proven right. We have the number 11 ranked Beneil Dariush. This guy's never been good. It's been proven that he's never been good. Yep, has lost. What is his record in his last 5 or last 4? He's won 1-3 in his last 4. Charles, Arman, and Benny beat him easily. Shocker, beat Moicano, which that's not really impressive. I think he's older than Moicano. I think he's like 38, whereas Benny Dar. Oh no, he's 36 as well. He looks 50. Yeah, he's even more on his last legs. He has no chin. He's just not a good fighter. We can all just be honest. The dude's not good. He never was. I don't care that he went on a 9-fight winning streak or some shit. Yeah, against who? Tony Ferguson and Drew Dober was the best ones or some shit. Like, I don't care. He sucks. He always has. And another guy who's just gonna be beaten out of the top 15 by younger guys. And yeah, him I actually could see retiring in like 2026. If he takes one more L, especially if it's another like quick knockout, I wouldn't be shocked if he hangs him up. So yeah, that would be good riddance because again he sucks and he's never been good, and yeah, he's kind of just a waste of a roster spot. A lot of these guys we've talked about since fucking what Max have been. And yeah, Beneil's just another one of them. You can go back in old videos. I've told y'all for a while he sucks. Getting proven right even more with that. Dariush was never good, and that's just proven. I've just been proven right on that more and more lately. He's not good. That simple. Next, I'm not gonna waste time on this fucking clown. And we have another guy, the worst ranking, maybe in the UFC. Not Taito Iwaza, but the worst ranking in the lightweight division. The worst ranking we've talked about so far. And even Lonnie Kavanaugh was better, because at least there's upside. This guy's a fucking clown. And we have the number 12 ranked for less than no reason. The can himself, Michael Chandler. Is that can made out of iron? I fucking bet it is, because Chandler's not. Yeah, this dude is a joke. I don't even need to say much. He's gonna keep begging for that counter fight. That's never gonna happen. He sucks. He needs to either retire or get out of the top 15. And I'm not even asking for him to get cut, because they're not gonna do that. Give him 1 or 2 more fights. But get him out of the top 15. He's like 2-5 in the UFC. His only wins are what? Tony and Hooker? Dude sucks. Shouldn't be ranked. The worst ranking we've talked about, and I think the only ranking in the UFC that's worse is Taito Iwaza. And yeah, dude's a joke. What else can I say? I keep begging for that counter fight that's never gonna happen. I won't be shocked if he gets on the White House card just not fighting Connor. And if he does, he's definitely taking a loss. And yeah, that's about that. Dude's a joke. Not much else to say. The second worst ranking in the UFC. Only beaten by Tai Tuivasa. That says a lot. Oh my god, we're actually into someone young. Someone under the age of fucking 50 who's young and decent. Even though still not 100% sold on this guy. At least he's not 50. As we have the first guy coming off a win since Fiziev. We have the number 13 ranked, newly number 13 ranked Manuel Torres. Not gonna say a lot here because I just talked about Manny a few weeks ago after he got the win to get ranked. I'm still not sold on him because since that Bahamondes fraud checking, he's beat Drew Dober, who's 100, and Grant Dawson, who's terrible. So I'm not sold on him being this great fighter yet, or this he's bounced back, he's so good. He's fine, he's entertaining, he has good power. He can beat shittier guys, but do I think he beats the higher echelon of this division, even though what is a higher echelon of this division after looking over it? After looking over the top 15, I truly don't know what it is, so, yeah. But, yeah, outside of Fiziev, he'd probably beat everyone we've talked about since Hooker, and he'd beat Hooker. Yeah, well, he'd probably beat Gaethje and Paddy as well, and that's saying more about how shit they are and less how great he is. And, yeah, Torres, see how far he can go in the top 15 now. Very decent, better than Grant Dawson, and at least he's under the age of 50 and actually not boring or terrible. So, still not sold on him being this bounce back prospect or whatever, but I'll give him a chance. He's done decent so far. See if he can keep it up. See if he really is. Let's see if he's really gotten better since Bahamondes embarrassed him in the Sphere. Not really much else to say. Next, I'm not gonna waste much time on this fucking fraud. Speaking of frauds, one of the biggest of 2025, who is somehow still ranked after the fact and getting a fight up after the fact. We have the number 14 ranked fraud himself, Mauricio Rufy. Yeah, this dude sucks. He's a complete fraud. Fiziev's gonna beat him easily. I don't care that he's training with Volk now. You can't polish a turd. This dude's a complete fucking joke. And, I always said he was the worst of the big four nerds. I was proven very correct. This dude sucks. Not much more that needs to be said. Fiziev, beat him out of the top 15, please, and thank you. And then finally, we get to number 15, the last of the top 15, and fuck, maybe one of the better guys in the top 15 after looking over it. We have the number 15 ranked, more than deserved and long overdue, the very good Faraz Ziam, the best Frenchman in the top 15, second Benoit. Yeah, Ziam is actually one of the few guys I can actually call really good in the top 15. On a 5 or 6 fight winning streak, coming off that Nazim Sadikov win, which he looked amazing in. Yeah, I did not think they were giving the ranking, but they did. Right thing to do. And, yeah, what more can you really say? He's more than deserving to be in top 15. I think he'd beat most of the guys we talked about above him. And, yeah, I'm happy he's in the top 15. I won't be shocked if he ends the year in the top 10 or number 8 or 7. Don't know how far he can go. Probably not top 5, but I think he'd easily join the top 10 with some of the people who are in it. And, yeah, see what happens. Happy he's in top 15. More than deserved. Dude's really good. And, one of the few, again, I thought this was Morgan Charrier, one of the few likable French fighters. So, see if, how far you can go at 155. Finally in top 15. See him climb them rankings. And there you go, 40 minutes later, there's the top 15, and I can easily say it's the worst top 15 we've talked about so far. To be honest, if you take out Fiziev, this is pathetic. This is a pathetic, 6 guys to be ranked. garbage. Oh, fraud, garbage. Not that good. And even if you want to throw in these two, we can be honest. And gotta throw in Rufia as well. Outside of Max, Charles, Armon, Fiziev's okay. Torres and Thiam. Top 15 sucks. And obviously Ilya, but he's a champion. The top 15 here sucks, and it's actually weird how lightweight's such a good division, but the top 15 is just fucking terrible. But it is what it is, I guess. Hopefully it gets better this year. Hopefully some of the younger guys start cleaning out the trash, and top 15 looks a lot better by the end of the year, because no doubt I can say with all confidence after talking about all 4 top 15 so far, lightweight is the worst, and I don't think there's going to be any of the only ones that might be worst are the heavier weight classes, well, with 185, 205 and heavyweight. So yeah, not really too much else to say there. Very disappointed with how shit lightweight's top 15 is, with how great the weight class is, but it seems like a lot of the talent is not ranked. So shall we look at that not ranked talent? I say we shall. And I'll say this now, I forgot to say that at the beginning, but only Contender Series guys know if you're planning on signing someone. I don't care, I don't know. So it's only guys who are on the roster right now. So let's talk about the unranked guys on the roster right now. Beginning with, what can we start on a high? We usually start on a low. Talked about him with the featherweights. Okay, that's a decent start. And we begin with a legend of the weight class, back up at lightweight. Almost talked about him with the featherweights, but he is back at lightweight. Where is he? We begin with a legend. Why, maybe our best start with the unranked guys. We usually start with kind of a dud. Where is he? Did I pass over him? I had to pass over him. Where the fuck is? Oh, there he is. Sadly, on his last legs, but still beginning with a legend with these unranked guys, beginning with Edson Barboza. What can I say? Just talked about him a few weeks ago. Legend in every sense of the word. Maybe the best fighter to ever fight for the belt. An interesting debate to be had there. But what's not a debate is, yeah, he needs to fucking retire. 3-fight losing streak. Not looked good lately. 39 years old. Gonna be 40 in a few weeks. Yeah, he has one more fight at most, if you even give him that much. I would give him that, because he deserves it. Go to Brazil, give him a fight, let him retire. If not, if you just want to cut him now, sure, let him go to Karate Combat. He would do great over there. But, yeah, we'll see what happens with Edson. Legend in every sense of the word, and actually there's a few of those in this weight class, so what else can you really say? Sucks to see him on the downward spiral, which is even weirder, because like 3 years ago he was still like one of the best at featherweight, but time has really passed him by. He's gotten older, and his durability's gone, his speed's gone, and yeah, he's on his last legs. So I would say one more fight at most, and then retire, or again, just cut him loose now and let him go to Karate Combat, PFL, whatever. Sucks to say that about a legend, but that's just the case, so what more can you really say? Sucks to get a legend on his last legs, but happens to the best of them. Especially at lightweight, it's gonna happen, and it's sadly happened with Edson. Next, to talk about him already. Okay, this next one's pretty interesting. A guy I've had not the highest of opinions on when it comes to how people hype him up, but you know, I'm always down to be proven wrong. As we have our second unranked lightweight, a guy who many people hype up, and I still have never really got the point of it. He's okay, but I think people overhype him a bit too much. And we have the most generic name in UFC history, but I guess that's not the word. He's decent. Mike Davis. Yeah, I've been a big opinionated. I've been a bit opinionated with Davis in the past. I've said he's very overrated. I picked Liam to beat him. That's right. He's okay. I've never seen this top 15 or super good guy people have seen. I've thought he's cool. Like, there's much better guys than him, but like, he's cool. Like, I don't know. Yeah, he's fine. Good guy. Fine fighter. I'd like to see him fight Jalen Turner. I think that'd be a good one. Yeah, he's never been the most active, which has been the biggest hindrance in his career. I don't think his wins are that good. His best one is Slava Claus, more than likely. Yeah, I just don't, like, I think he's fine, but, like, to say he's one of the best unranked lightweights now. Ribovics, fucking Rambetsky, so many guys are better. He's, like, top 40, 35. He's not in that higher echelon. He's never sniffed the rankings, and that's more because just how good lightweight is. And even though I will say he would beat like 6 or 7 of them, he would wipe the floor for Rufy, but you know, it is what it is. He's fine. I don't dislike him, but I'm also again honest that he is a little overrated by people. He's very decent top 35 guy in the division, and I'd love to see him fight Jalen Turner, so maybe do that. And yeah, a guy I've had many opinionated takes on. He's fine. Not very much else to say there. Next, we have, okay, well, someone we've already talked about. Yeah, there's my volume for, I don't know why he does that. Someone I already made fun of earlier, so never hurts to make fun of a little bit more. We have the American Mateusz Gamrot, who's worse than Mateusz Gamrot, the tomato can, and maybe the most boring guy possible. Grant Dawson. Yeah, he's a less talented Mateusz Gamrot, which says a lot. Dawson is terrible. He's boring, no chin, no striking. Yeah, happy he's out of the top 15. He sucks. Not much to say. Got no respect for him at all. Love seeing Torres knock him out and Bobby Green knock him out. This dude's a joke. Learn how to fight. Not very much else to say. Next. he's not worth the time it would take to make fun of him more, so there you go. Never deserved to be in the top 15 to begin with. Can't get much worse than that, can we? We need an upgrade from that, and we get one. An upgrade, an upside, something. And we have, speaking of Patty's daddy, we have our first, probably our best unranked guy so far, I would say. The very good, even though it's worth half the time, it doesn't look like it. Patty's daddy, Jared Gordon. Has he done much since beating Patty? No, I'll be honest. But, yeah, no, I still think he's pretty decent. Even though he's 2-1 since then. But he's still pretty decent. Like, I don't know, he's getting older, 37. As he put all of his lasting power into beating Patty. That Thiago Moises KO was pretty good. Yeah, this dude's decent. What can I really say? How shit is Patty? I don't fucking know, but whatever. Yeah. Not really much to say about Gordon. It does seem like he's turning into a win-lose guy. Getting older, so again, he probably should have been in the top 15 at some point. But again, now 37. Apparently got hit by a car before his last fight, which I doubt, but whatever. Yeah, just too old to be hitting your prime, especially at lightweight. Again, if he put all his power into beating Patty, I respect that. And yeah, he'll always be remembered. He's Patty's daddy. Wish he would have been able to get in the top 15 or anything, or beat Rafa Garcia. But you know, it's what it is. And yeah, still one of the better guys in the division. I think top 25. But yeah, I see he's getting older and probably doesn't have the most time left on the clock, so yeah, at least he beat Patty, and he'll always be remembered for that. And yeah, not very much else to say. Patty's daddy, very simple. There you go. Next, oh god, we get one good thing and then we go right back to tomato cans. As next we have a guy who's somehow still here after being fraud checked like 10 years ago and never being good. A guy fighting in January, so we get to see him lose very soon. The still shitty after all these years, Alexander Hernandez. No idea how he's still here on a not even pretend, but just a shitty winning streak. And let's be honest, he lost this fight completely. 2 shitty knockout wins. Gonna lose to Michael Johnson in January. This dude's a fucking can. I don't know what else you want me to say. He's the same can he was when Cowboy beat him. The same can he was when he was on this streak. And he's gonna be exposed as that can again when MJ beats him in a few weeks. Not very much more to say. Yeah, most fighters can't change their stripes from being a can to a good fighter again, and Hernandez is another example of that. I'm not falling for some fake winning streak. MJ's gonna beat him because he's still the same can he was when Cowboy made him his bitch. Good to see Dariush getting a good nap. You're pretty old, so you need those. God, how shit is Dariush? I guess that proves my point about that. Jesus. Next, okay, a guy who's been up and down lately, really up and down 2025, and we're probably not going to see him until late 2026 because he broke his ankle in his last fight. We have the decent, it stole Justin Gaethje's nickname, but he's still decent, Ludwig Klein. A guy who I think we saw his ceiling this year. Got beat by Gamrot in a pretty shitty fight, but then was able to beat Rumbecki in a really decent fight after breaking his ankle in round 3. I think we see if Klein a guy who's like top 20, but I don't think he's ever going to be able to jump into the top 15. And I think top 20 maybe, I think he's kind of been able to avoid some of the better guys who would beat him, like Rebovix and all that, but the dude's decent. Doesn't really have a great win. Rumbecki and Moises are probably his. And as you know, Mondes, Moises, and Rumbecki are really good wins to have. So, okay, I take that back. I thought he was a guy of kind of padded wins, but no, those are 3 really solid wins. And yeah, he's a solid fighter in top 20, but never seemed like he's gonna be top 15. Maybe if they gave him the right, like if they gave him one of the old dudes like Moicano, Dariush, or Chandler, he'd beat him. But outside of that, like Fiziev would beat him, Benoit would probably beat him. I think Ziam would beat him. So he's good, but again, top 20, and hopefully we see him probably late next year, probably like September, October, November, after that ankle injury. And see what happens. Decent fighter, not gonna looking like he's not gonna be in top 15. And he's not saying he's not good enough, but just seems unlikely he's gonna be in the top 15 at any point. And yeah, still very decent, good set of wins. Heal up from that injury, and we'll see when we see Klein again. Not much else to say. Next, I would say Klein takes the crown for the best guy. I think he's better than Gordon. But the crown for most exciting lightweight, we talked about him with the featherweights. This guy easily takes the crown for the most exciting lightweight. Even though, is he good? Not really. Is he exciting? God, yes. He may be the most exciting fighter we've talked about so far, and he's the most exciting lightweight. Yeah, if everyone's favorite, a guy you just can't hate, even if he's an annoying fuck to try and predict. We have Terrence McKinney. The most exciting lightweight, even if I do still think he quit versus Duncan, because, let's be honest, what the fuck hurt him that badly? Nothing, if I'm being honest, but whatever. Yeah, who the fuck doesn't like Terrence McKinney? Is he the most skilled? God, no. Beyond no. But is he very good? At is he the best 1 minute fighter in the UFC? Yeah. Is he exciting? Yeah. Is he the most skilled? Fuck no. So, see pros and cons. Yeah, who doesn't like Terrence McKinney? If he's on a card, if he's on your card, he's either getting finished or he's gonna get a finish. And yeah, what else can you really say? Who doesn't like Terrence McKinney? So unless you're stupid enough to try and bet on him to win or lose, then I see you maybe hating him. But that's your fault. You should know better. Never trust McKinney. Just enjoy his fights. And yeah, he'll probably get 2 or 3 fights in 26, like always, and probably go like 1-2 or some shit like that. So who doesn't like Terrence McKinney? The most exciting lightweight, and yeah, far from the most skilled, but the most exciting. The crown that I would say is just as good to have. Who doesn't like Terrence McKinney? Pretty simple. Next, from a guy no one dislikes to a guy I don't think anyone likes because no one cares about this tomato can. We have the featherweight who moved up to lightweight, and shitty Canadian. Is he the only one? Unless they cut that other guy, he might be the only Canadian lightweight. And he's the worst, even if he's the only one. We have Kyle Nelson. A shitty featherweight turned a shitty lightweight. Yeah, I've never thought this dude was good at all. 1-0 at lightweight since moving up. He took an L in his debut. Whatever. Yeah, he sucks. Like, that full win was far from impressive. He's not good at all. Never thought he was good. Even on that little winning streak he had, he was not a good one. Debatable if he even won this fight. He sucks. He's gonna lose that lightweight, and like he always does when he fights someone actually decent. And yeah, I thought he was a shitty featherweight, turned shitty lightweight. Not very much else to say. Yeah, it's still a can, just 10 pounds heavier. Simple. Next, our last one of this first page, a guy who's kind of disappeared. I don't know where the fuck this guy has went. We have a guy who looked like he was going to be the next exciting thing, and now is just not fighting. Probably going to get cut in 2026. We have a former hyped up guy to now 1-3 in his last 4. The guy who's kind of just disappeared. Trevor Peak. Yeah, remember this guy? Where the fuck is he? He has not first guy to not fight in 2025. Had a fight booked, didn't happen. I think he was trying to move down to featherweight, which is an idea, to say the very least. I guess when you're one, he won this Ash Moose fight for sure. When you're 2-2 in your last 4, I guess gotta try anything. Is he skilled at all? No, he just hits really hard. Him and McKinney would be a fun fight because they're pretty much the same guy. They're just gonna swing him till someone dies. And yeah, I forgot about this guy, to be honest. I kind of completely forgot about this guy. Hopefully we see him in 2026. If he is gonna try that featherweight move, I don't think it's a good idea. But sure, why not? Go to a weight class that takes even more skill. I think he's probably going to lose and get cut more than likely because he's not skilled at all. He just hits really hard. And, yeah, he was fun for like 2 fights and now he's kind of just disappeared. Not really much to say. Completely forgot about him. Didn't see him in 2025. Probably going to get cut in 2026. Trying to move down to 145 is probably a dumb idea. And, yeah. See what happens. See if he makes his return in 2026. Not very much else to say, so there you go. That's about that. I completely fucking forgot about this guy. That says a lot, actually. Next, we do our first move down of pages. Let's see who. Roberto, we already talked about him already. He's not on the roster. He's not on the roster. Okay, so we actually had to scroll down a good amount to find our next guy. Another kind of just forgettable guy in the division, even though he's mainly because he only fought 1 time in the UFC, and another guy who took all of 2025 off, even though he's meant to fight what, 2-3 months ago, but pulled out like 2 weeks before. We have a very okay fighter, and he's 0-1 in the UFC and lost to a guy who just got cut, so debatable how okay he is. We have Abdul Karim Al-Sawadi. Yeah, Abdul was meant to fight a few months ago against Camilo. Got pulled out, had 4 fights canned since his last fight, where he lost to Loic Radzhabov in his debut, which, again, Loic is pretty mid in his own right, just got cut from the UFC, so, hopefully he shows back up in 2026. Had one of my favorite contenders of these fights of all time. Fraud checking that hard whip can as a gigantic underdog. That was awesome. Do I think Sawadi's that good? No. If he wasn't a giant underdog to win on Contender Series, he would have never got signed because he's just kind of mid at best. I think actually below average would probably be a better term for him. I don't think he beats a lot of guys. Like, he just kind of seems mid, a kind of a guy who's just like there in the division. Probably more cannon fodder for better fighters more than anything. I would have picked him to beat Camilo, but that says more about Camilo than does Sawadi. Maybe we see him back in 2026, more than likely, since he was meant to fight even back in October, so it's not like he's just sitting on his ass doing nothing. He's had fights cancelled, so that's rare to see with these guys. Most of these guys, and we've seen lots of them who didn't fight in 25, didn't have a fucking fight even booked and cancelled, so he's already done more than a lot, and we'll see if we see Al-Sawadi back in 2026. So, not really much else to say. Pretty below average to maybe mid at best guy in the division. See if he can come back in 2026. Not really much else to say. Next, okay, from pretty mid guy to one of the better prospects in the division, who could actually have a really big 2026 if he stays active. If he's the first well, not counting Ilya, the first undefeated dude we've talked about, I believe, Khabib Jr., who just got a win not that long ago, Nurullo Aliev. Aliev's I think might be the first guy I can call like one of the bigger prospects in the division. So from who we've talked about so far, this guy's good. This guy's pretty good, and he's getting better. He improved his striking big time in his last fight after just being a pretty boring wrestler for his first 2 fights. Again, Khabib Jr., very grapple heavy, 25 years old, very young, undefeated. Fought twice in 25, which is good. Hopefully we see him at least once or twice in 2026. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if this dude's ranked in like 2027. Like, he's pretty decent. Do I think he could be a little fraudy? Possibility for sure. I don't think it's a complete with how good lightweight is, even for as good as Aliev does seem to be. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he gets frauded by someone who's just really good in their own right. And yeah, I'd say he's probably top 25 in the division. I do think there's better unranked guys, but Aliev is interesting. Aliev is very interesting. If he can keep improving, getting better, let's see if he can move up the division and again, maybe in the top 15 by 2027. I don't want to be shocked, so dude's pretty decent. Hopefully he stays active. Another 2 fights in this year would be good, and then see what happens. Khabib Jr., the Tajik Khabib, with actually probably better striking than Khabib, at least from his last fight. See what happens. One of the more interesting prospects in the division. See how far the kid can go. Pretty decent. It's getting better, it seems. Yeah, lightweight might have to keep an eye on that. Next, he's a welterweight. This is a weird one. I highly doubt he's still on the roster. Let me check, 'cause I have no fucking faith in him actually still being signed. Let me look. Well, it says he hasn't been cut from the roster yet, so I'll talk about him for a quick second, but more than likely this dude ain't gonna fight in the UFC again. We have I guarantee you ain't fighting in the UFC again. His brother's already been cut like 2 years ago. He'll probably be joining him soon. Atman Zaitar. no idea how this dude ain't cut from the roster yet. 35, 3 in a row, hasn't fought since December 24. Yeah, I just gonna be honest, I would be fucking amazed if he fights again in the UFC, and he doesn't. Again, another guy who just gets cut finally, and we're like, oh, he was still on the roster sometime in this year. I definitely thought he was cut by now, but you know, whatever. Yeah, shitty fighter. Probably gonna be cut sooner than later. Again, if fight news drops with him, and I'll be beyond shocked, and I'm definitely picking him to lose. And yeah, not much to say. I'm fucking amazed he's still here. Yeah, they're on the roster at least. I highly doubt he fights again, so there you go. Next. Okay, now we get to someone who I know is still on the roster and one of the best in the division, even though every time he gets a chance to prove that, he fucks it up. We have, in my opinion, a guy who could be a dark horse in the division if he could ever show up in the big fights. We have the very talented, just underachieving. That's the best way to describe him. Ignacio Bahamondes. One of my favorite guys in the division, even though, again, he's kind of underachieved completely, if we're being honest. For how talented this kid is, to be 6-3 and not be in the top 15 more than like once or twice, to never really have like that big win, like, these were good wins, but he couldn't build. Every time he starts going on a little winning streak, he loses. 1-3 here, looked shit against Klein. 1-3 here, and 2 pretty decent wins here, looked terrible against Fiziev. Lost to Makdessi in his debut. It's like, this guy should be like number 10 in the division or some shit by now, but instead he's unranked, coming off a loss with a 6-3 record. And it's like, is this dude ever gonna break through his glass ceiling? Like, I think this dude's a complete underachiever for how good he really is. When this guy's, I'll say right now, when Ignacio's at his best, he could easily be a top 7 to 8 guy in this division. I'll say right now, when Ignacio's at his best, I'll take him over Rufy, all of these guys. Fiziev, I know he beat him, but I don't think that was the best of Ignacio. And I'll take him to beat all of these guys easily, without question. I'll say right now, when Ignacio's at his best, since he's not ranked, I'll say he's the best unranked lightweight, but he's never at his best when it matters. He's at his best here, not here when it would actually matter to get that 4th win and like move up. And it's like, dude, why the fuck can't this guy like push through the big fight and win? Like, 2nd time now against Klein, against Fiziev, they shit the bed in a big fight that would have really gotten to climb the ranking. It's like, why does he always underachieve in the biggest fights? It's like, the dude has all this talent. That's never been the problem or the debate with him. Is it a mental thing? Is it just he doesn't show up when it matters? I don't know, but it's like, this dude should have had a main event by now. He should have been like an Apex main event by now and would have won it. He should be in like the top 8 right now. But instead he's unranked, 6-3, and just a complete underachiever. He's still young, which is good, 28 years old. But by this point, he should have been the top guy, but instead he's just completely underachieved, and he can only blame himself. Because he's shit the bed in the 2 biggest fights that he needed to win, so hopefully he can bounce back. I know he will, because he's gonna fight someone kind of underneath him skill-wise. He's gonna look great and win, and we're like, oh, Ignacio's back, and win maybe 1 or 2 more, and then lose again to a better, like, a top-ranked guy. It's like, why does he keep doing this? Why does he keep doing this? He should have been a top guy in the division by now, but instead, all I can really say about Ignacio is I'm disappointed with a guy who I think could easily be a top 10 guy in the division. He's just a complete underachiever. That's the best way I can describe him, which, is that worse than being called a can at this point? I don't know, but I think he's a complete underachiever. After that, we have someone who's far from an underachiever, someone who's just not good. We have definitely the shittier brother of his family. He lost on the card his brother won in the main event, and who knows if he actually threw that fight or not. We have the shittier brother of the two, the Javid Basharat of the family, Ismail Bonfim. Yeah, for how good Gabriel's doing right now, yeah, Ismail's definitely the black sheep of the two. This dude fucking sucks. I will continue the idea that he is completely living off the Terrence knockout because he's done fuck nothing since he's 1-3 and got exposed here, looked terrible here, and lost here, and missed weight, and who knows if he actually threw the fight. If not, he just quit completely. Yeah, this dude sucks. He's completely living off a McKinney knockout and his brother's coattails, and if he's happy doing that, cool. And I think if he fights again and loses and looks as terrible as he did against Padilla, he's for sure gone. And, yeah, his brother's coattails can only lead him so far. Can't lead him to wins, that's for sure. The lesser of the Bonfim boys, which at first we thought he was better. We really thought he was the better one, but God, it's been more than exposed that he is not. He is fucking terrible. And, yeah, what else can I really say? The lesser of the two brothers, we'll talk about his brother tomorrow. What is there to really say? He's either a quitter or he on purpose lost that fight to Padilla. Probably gonna get cut in 2026 with another loss, and that's about that. The shittier Bonfim brother. What is thinking? Next, okay, this is a very intriguing one. Kind of a guy who's just an exciting fighter more than a good one. We have the next guy, much better than Ismail Bonfim, but another guy on a losing streak, sitting on a hot seat right now. We have the very exciting, but not very good, Elvis Brenner. Yeah, outside of being really exciting, this dude's not very good, on a 3-fight losing streak, but look at the names he's lost to, Jesus Christ. Is he really good? No. We're being honest. Either he lost this fight completely and won 2 from when he got 2 wins that are very underwhelming or just bad from Chutabox. Yeah, he's not very good, especially for that team's usual skill level. He's definitely not on it. He's pretty. Yeah, he's not very good. If we're being honest, he's pretty bad. He's, again, entertaining, and the guy that losing streak cannot be more respected. But, yeah, is he that good? No, he's just really entertaining, and I'd say give him one more fight, let him have one more fun fight, more than likely lose, and then get cut. So another guy who'll probably be off the roster by the end of 26, unless he gets a win, which is a possibility, but more than likely he won't. And, yeah, not really too much else to say. Entertaining, not very good. Give him one more fight, even though he's on 3-fight skid. Give him one more, and, yeah, let's, have one more banger with him before he gets cut. Not really much more to say. There you go. One of the lesser Chutabox members, which says a lot, I guess. I don't know, but the free to decide. Next, we have Speak of the Devil from earlier, a guy who just got a win a few weeks ago. You know, I still think he's fucking terrible. We have the Brazilian, we got terrible, okay, to even worse. Somehow got even worse than Bonfim. We have hey, he did win his last fight, but God, did he look terrible. And then a few weeks ago, Matheus Camilo. Yeah, this dude's terrible. We can be blunt. Yeah, he beat Slava, kind of. That fight was a very close, debatable. I think you could give to Slava, but whatever. Forza got beat by Gabe Green. Good job. Yeah, I don't think this dude's good at all. I think he'll get demolished by any halfway decent fighter he fights, like Gabe Green. And yes, I think he's much worse than Bonfim. So take that as you will. Yeah, good job for him winning, saving his job back a few weeks ago. But overall, yeah, this guy sucks. We can just be honest. This guy's fucking terrible. And got lucky fought Slava, who still can make a case for winning that fight. Yeah, Camille was pretty shit, and that's about the long and short of that, so there you go. Pretty simple. Not much more to add from what I said about him about a month or so ago. Still stand by it. He's not good. Next. This guy's definitely... he would have been better off taking 2025 off, as next we have a guy who's coming off a very bad O to a very bad fighter. We have Charlie Campbell. Yeah, losing to Tom Nolan's not good. He really was looking good in that fight. Eventually he did get beat. Not the most active, 3 fights over 3 years. Yeah, he's just nothing that special. He's okay at best. Loses to a lot of guys. Maybe top 45 in the division. I think that'd even be would be a bit of a reach to say. He's pretty mid. And, yeah, again, losing to Tom Nolan is a pretty bad look, because Tom Nolan is fucking garbage. And so... yeah, what else am I really meant to say? Hopefully he fights more. Like, fighting more than once a year would be pretty neat. It would probably help him a bit, but, you know, he wants to fight once a year. Good for him. Don't think it's gonna help him, probably just hurt him. He's already not the greatest, pretty mid. I think is he an Aljo team member? I thought he was. I guess not. He's just pretty meh at best, and, yeah, don't really think much of him. Again, he lost to Tom Nolan, enough said. He kind of suck. There you go. Next, we have, okay, a guy who made his debut this year on short notice and to just get beat up. Maybe this guy will be able to bounce back, we'll see. You know, one of the first guys who lost his O in 2025, at least at lightweight. We have not Josh Koscheck, even though he looks exactly like him in that photo. Mark Chawinski. Yeah, a lot of people probably forgot who this was. He was the dude who stepped in on short notice to fight Marquel Medeiros and got his ass beat and his legs stomped in. Came in undefeated, left with an L. Didn't really see anything great from him in that fight, but you know, we'll see how he bounces back. Another loss, especially in poor showing. Cut him, maybe even play if he looks better and even gets a win. Maybe he's decent. We'll see. Already 30, which ain't a great looking, came from a. But I guess Anthony Pettis' promotion is getting better, but still, yeah. So, I don't know, didn't really see anything too great with this guy. We'll see how he looks on a full camp in his next one. Either he'll win and stay, or lose and get cut. Not much to say. Yeah, pretty simple. There you go. Next, we got... well, okay, this is a fun one. I would say a lightweight legend at this point. He does have the knockout record in the division. Another guy who's impossible to hate. How could you not like this man? The knockout king at lightweight. Sorry, Dustin, but this record is this man's. As we have the knockout king, Drew Dober. The best chin in the UFC. Visually, one of the worst, actually. Yeah, who doesn't like Drew Dober? Always in a fun fight. If it's him getting knocked out or the opponent. Again, took the knockout record from Poirier with his last win. Getting older, definitely at the end of his road. Can't really take damage like he used to. Probably has a few fights left. I'd say at least 2, if not like 4 to 5. Still decent, still probably a top 30 guy in the division, even with his lack of durability. Still got power, still a very decent fighter. looked fine in his last fight to break the knockout record, and yeah, see what happens. Always excited to see the Drew Dober fight. Who doesn't like Dober? I think he's only had one bad fight that I've ever seen, and it wasn't his fault, so what can you really say? Yeah, if Dober's fighting, either he's getting knocked out or he's knocking someone out. See how much longer he can build on top of that knockout record before he retires. And, yeah, what else is there to say? How can you dislike Drew Dober? He's always exciting, and again, he's the knockout king at lightweight, so there you go. Not much more to say. I always love some Drew Dober fights, and we'll see a few more in 2026. Next, I'll save him for welterweight because I think he's probably welterweight at this point. We can move down again. As next, we have a guy we brought up a few times, saying he's better than a few guys, and I think he is. So let's get to him. We're a top 20 guy in this division at the moment, on a nice winning streak as well. Yeah, one of the few Scottish fighters left. I think Casey might be the only ones. We have one of the best unranked guys, and you can make a case for maybe the best unranked guy in the division right now. We have Chris Duncan, a man on a complete roll right now, 4 in a row, just beat McKinney, got that Rombetsky. Guy looks good. Ever since that Torres fight, he's really been able to bounce back and look pretty good. Again, can make a case for maybe being the best unranked. Oh no, I'm forgetting someone. Even though he should be ranked. The second best unranked lightweight right now. Again, I think he would easily beat guys like Hooker and fucking Moicano and all that, but you know, we'll see if he gets that opportunity. I forget who I said he should fight after the Terrence fight, but you know, probably someone pretty decent, closer to top 15. He's good. I won't be shocked if he's in the top 15 sometime in 2026 or by the end of it. Again, I maybe feed Dariush to him. I don't think anyone would be too upset about that if you decide to do that, so we'll see. And yeah, Duncan, again, won probably maybe the second best unranked lightweight at the moment. 4 in a row. Keeping Scotland on the map with Casey not fighting. Paul Craig retired. Yeah, what really can you say about Duncan? Dude's already been able to bounce back big time. Looking good. 4 in a row. Can he make it 5 and maybe get ranked? We'll see. Maybe the second best lightweight. Not very much more. Best unranked lightweight. Not very much more you can say. See if you can join the top 15 in 2026 and keep the hot streak going. Next, okay, this is a guy I've completely fucking forgot about because I don't think he's fought since. Did he fight in the beginning of the year, or no, I'm getting him mixed up with someone else? Oh no, he did have a fight this year. I just completely forgot it. We have one of the more below average dudes in the division, kind of just there. We have Evan Elder. A very fine fighter, nothing too great about him, nothing too phenomenal. On a winning streak, but pretty bad fighters on a streak. Valdez was cut after, I believe. Flowers was a joke, and Gao Jiang is not good. And actually, he was beating Sadikov before he got that doctor stoppage, so take that as he will. Yeah, Powder's decent. Is he ever gonna do anything in the division? Fuck no. I think he's mid at best. But, yeah, he's there. He hasn't really beat anyone good, but wins are wins more than less. Some guys can really say we've talked about so far, and see how he does in 2026. See if he gets to step up in competition. Maybe he can shock someone and win, but I doubt it. He's there. Completely forgot about him. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see how he goes in 2026 on this winning streak. He can build on top of it. Was looking good against Nazim before the doctor stoppage. Yeah, not very much more to say. I completely forgot about him. Most people don't even know about him, but 3-5 winning streak. See what he can do in 2026. Not very much more to say. Next. Ooh, another one of the better unranked guys in the division at the moment. Another guy who I could 100% see being in the top 15 sooner than later. Maybe another guy in the top 20. One of the better unranked guys for sure. We have maybe the best leg kicker in the division without him being older. Cowie Fernandez. Cowie's pretty good, man. He's pretty damn good. Nice winning streak in his own right. All fucking dismantled Yaya, Garam, and Hardwick. He would have gave Ziam a hell of a fight, but you know, he didn't really get to show how he can do against a higher echelon guy. Been looking good though. 3 in a row as well. Yeah, you could call him a top 20 guy. I would have to think about top 20. Might be top 25. Well, for sure top 25 if he's not top 20. Very good fighter. Good leg kicks. Well-rounded. Yeah, this dude's really decent. Like, what more can you really say? Again, one of the better unranked guys. Could give some ranked guys and some higher echelon guys some issues. And, yeah, he's very decent. I'm excited to see him fight again. 3 in a row, see if he can build on that. Again, another guy who maybe could be in the top 15, 2026. Never know. Dude's pretty decent. See how he builds on this winning streak. Maybe the best leg kicker in the division. New nickname, the Lumberjack. That's pretty decent. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see him fight again. Another one of the better prospects in the division. And see how what happens in 2026. We can build on that winning streak. Maybe kick some more legs in 2026. I don't know much else to say there. Next, we have an unk of the division, one of the many, who's another guy kind of on his last legs, definitely not looking good in his last 2 fights. We have one of the unks who's been around forever in the UFC and might not make it through 2026. We have Diego Ferreira, 40 years old. Yeah, not been doing the best lately after that Rombetsky fight, 2 L's in a row to shit fighters, and yeah, I think he's about done. Probably one more fight in 2026 and then he gets cut, because he's probably gonna lose because he's just super fucking old. Took a lot of time off, I remember, for just being inactive, and now he's starting to be more active. It might be a little too late. Still decent, but like, again, age has got to him, durability is kind of gone, quickness is completely gone. Yeah, I think Diego's on his last legs. Again, one more fight, lose and retire, probably be the best for him. If I could have him fight Edson, have them fight each other, double retirement, that'd be kind of cool. But if you want to feed him to a younger guy, do that as well. So, dude had a few good moments. That Rombetsky win was great and all that, but yeah, outside of that, Michael Johnson when it was great, and they aged pretty well, but yeah, you know, he had better days many years ago, and now is 2-5 in his last 7. Yeah, time has just passed him by. Probably gonna retire in 2026 or get cut. We'll see which. Had a decent run, but time waits for no one. Having to wait for Diego. Yeah, it's not gonna fucking wait any longer. We'll see one more fight for Diego and then probably call it a day. Not much else to say there. Next, I'm not gonna waste much time here. Another guy that I highly doubt is gonna fight again in the UFC since he hasn't in a long time. Mainly because he's fucking terrible. We have a complete joke that is Darius Flowers, one of the worst Contender Series signings of all time. Hasn't fought since July of 2024. Yeah, I'm gonna say he's not gonna fight again. All I remember, I think it was his debut where he faked a nut shot. Good job. He shouldn't even got a contract here because the opponent fucking dislocated his shoulder. So kind of a fake win, but whatever. I doubt he fights in UFC again. Hasn't fought in almost 2 years. Won 0-3. Looked terrible in all those fights. Yeah, he sucks. Not really much else to say. Don't even know why they haven't cut him yet. Maybe him and Ottman can fight to see who fucking stays. And yeah, he sucks. Not much else to say. I think Ottman's probably better, to be honest. So I'll take that if you will. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I have very little hope in Flowers fighting again in the UFC at least, and that I think good riddance. Next, another old man in the division who's at the end of his road, I would say, and might even get cut, but I think I'll probably give him one more fight. We have another guy who's hard to hate, but is just getting old and can't really go anymore. We have Matt Frevola. Yeah, I think Frevola's on his last legs like a lot of guys we've talked about so far. Give him one more fight and then let him retire, or cut him, whichever one you want to do. He's like, the dude's durability is shot, his quickness is shot. I think that Ziam fight killed him, and yeah, he just really doesn't have anything left in the tank. Like a Marab and Aljo teammate, all that, whatever, but yeah, he just doesn't really got anymore. Yeah, he's what, 35, just washed, doesn't really have it anymore. Went on, again, who didn't like the little winning streak he went on, but besides that, he's out for the last hurrah, and I don't think they're gonna cut him. I think they will give him one more fight before that, more than likely, but if they cut him, I would understand it. One more fight, I would understand it. Either way, I think Frevola is another guy who I don't see making it through 2026 on the roster. We'll see, and yeah, just a lot of these guys at lightweight are getting older. The new wave is really coming in and starting to take them out. Frevola is another one of those guys. One more fight at most, and then probably the last time we see Steamroller. He still hasn't followed me on Twitter, asshole. Next. Okay, this is a guy who I think is kind of mid at best. Not an old dude at least, but a guy who I just don't really think so anything that special. We have the very, again, I would say mid Rafa Garcia. If we're just going off of Mexican lightweight, Manuel Torres is much better. But Rafa's okay. I don't think he's anything great. Good Jared Gordon win. I thought that his wins are shit. Never really been able to get past a higher echelon of guys. Yeah, I think, like, when I think of them, like, mid-lightweights, I think Rafa Garcia is, like, the perfect mid-lightweight. If you ever gonna lose to guys like fucking, Evan Elder and fucking Darius Flowers, no. But if you ever gonna beat Fernandez or Duncan or Bob Montes, fuck no. He's mid. He's perfectly mid. No real issues with him. He's just not good enough to beat the better guys, but not bad enough to lose to them. He's just perfectly mid. Like, if I had to say who's the perfect mid lightweight, Rafa Garcia. He's never gonna be a can, and he's never gonna beat the better guys. It's pretty simple. I think he's pretty mid, and that's about that. Manuel Torres is much better. Rafa is much better at being mid. There you go. Not much to say. Next, oof, we just talked about him a few weeks ago. Speaking of unks in the division who probably should retire, but he got a win, so I guess he's going to keep kicking at 40. We have a man who just had a very unimpressive, terrible win a few weeks ago. King Green. Bobby Green still kicking, coming off a win in one of the most pitiful fights I've ever seen with Lance Gibson. Yeah, let's be honest, even though he won, Bobby is completely cooked. If he fights any of these better guys in the division, he's gonna get starched. And he looked terrible against that Gibson kid. Still could have lost, but, you know, he got lucky. And, yeah, I guess he's still kicking, so we'll, see what happens with him. Not much to say. He's, you know, we're giving Bobby probably, I don't think many more fights of Green, to be honest. 3 or 4 at most. Maybe he makes it 2027. No, I don't think he makes it 2028. Another guy who I would say is perfect for like DBX or some bullshit like that, or even boxing. So he's fine. Like nothing's. He's just not what he was even a few years ago. His durability is shot, and again, he didn't even look that good against that Gibson kid. So I think Green's at the end of his road. Another 3 to 4 fights at most, and that'll be about that. I don't even think he's a top 25 or 30 guy in the division anymore, to be honest. So he's just had some good moments. We all like Bobby Green, but yeah, he's just done. What else can you really say? He's about to be 40 and probably not going to fight for too much longer. So at least in UFC, some good moments, but yeah, the King is definitely just going off that last fight a few weeks ago. He's definitely not as good as he once was. That's for damn sure. Next, speaking of dudes named Green in the division, let's talk about the other one. And this one, a welterweight who moved down to lightweight. And there's a 1-0 currently. We talked about him earlier with Camilo. We got the man who beat Camilo and looked decent, still probably not sold on this guy being much in the division. We have the former welterweight, now lightweight, Gabe Green. 1-0 at lightweight after that Camilo fight. Yeah, he looked fine in that fight against a pretty shitty opponent. Still don't think he's anything special. Probably below average like he was at welterweight. Like, this is probably a much better weight class for him, but still don't think he can do much of anything in this division, because again, he's just kind of average to even, I would say, below average. Again, you beat Camilo, which I think is borderline meaningless. Camilo sucks. And, yeah, haven't fought since, I thought it was in May, so it's probably not going to fight for at least a year. Let's see if what he does in 2026. Second outing in a new weight class. Yeah, not really much else to say, so there you go. See what happens. Well, maybe lightweight was the weight class for him. He's gonna do something, but I doubt it. Failed welterweight, mid lightweight so far. Not much to say. Not even the best Green in the division. Since we just talked about Bobby. Unlucky. Next, another guy. Another guy I doubt is still on the roster, but maybe they'll keep him around for one more fight. We have a guy, I actually forgot he fought in 2025, but again, apparently he's still on the roster after the fact, so we'll see if we see him lose one more time in 2026. Because he's not very good. The very forgettable Damir Hadzovic. Almost 40. I forgot he fought in 2025. 4 and 6 in the UFC. The last one was in 2021 against Yancy Medeiros. Yeah, not much to say here. If he fights again in the UFC, I wouldn't be shocked, but it's just gonna be a loss. But if he gets cut, more than deserved, since he's again only fought 4 times since the fucking 2020 started, and he's 1-3 in those fights. Looked terrible against McKinney in his return. Wasn't even clear with that record that he has. Wasn't even good before that fight. And yeah, probably gonna get cut if he even does fight again. He says a lose-lose for me. If he fights again, loses and get cuts, or he just gets cut straight up. Fine, eventually. So either way, won't be shocked. Thought he already got cut, to be honest. But I don't know what they're waiting for. So here you go. Next, okay, another one of the better unranked fighters. He might still be sleeping after his last fight. He's still very decent. We have the perennial, top 20 dude in the division. Another guy who's never been able to break through to the top 15. He's pretty decent. The better Kelvin Gastelum, Nasrat Haqparast. Yeah, we know we're getting from Nazareth, a very decent fighter who's never been able to break through to the top level. Got killed by Sal killed. Hooker beat him, Bobby beat him, Dover beat him, etc. He's been able to go on nice winning streaks and beat lower level guys, but again, never really been able to join the top 15, has never been ranked for as decent as he's been, and again, he's been a pretty solid guy for like his whole UFC run so far, but never able to break through, kind of in the top 20 range his whole lightweight career in the UFC, and yeah, don't really see that changing. I don't see him magically after a Sal Code fight becoming this top 15 guy. I think he'll stay where he is, top 20, very good, but not good enough, and yeah, I'm almost shocked he's never been top 15, but again, he's just never really been able to beat the guys who would have put him in the top 15, so he always loses to them, and yeah, what else can you really say? He's always top 20 in the division, just never top 15, and he's still really good though. Still pretty good. One of the better unranked guys, but that's the problem. One of the better unranked guys just really can't get into the top 15. I don't see that changing anytime soon. If he ever wakes up after that Sal Code fight, at least he's better than Kelvin Gastelum. So maybe he's the good. Either Kelvin's the evil Nazareth or he's the good Kelvin. Who knows? But yeah, there you go. Another guy who's just never been able to break into the top 15, but this idiot has. How weird is this division? Next, oh well, this guy couldn't sniff the top 15 if you cut off half the roster. And next we have a guy who is not good at all, even though he probably got robbed in his last fight. Again, a guy who's actually very old, you wouldn't really expect it, and not good at all. We have Jai Herbert. Yeah, another guy I've completely forgot about in the UFC. You know, again, he probably did get a little robbed against Padilla. It's what it is. Not like he's good anyway. We all know his career highlight will be Dan Hardy yelling for the ref to stop the fight. That's really the only thing that's really happened. Yeah. Not a good fighter at all. I would say even below average would be a stretch to call him. I'd say he's just not good. And, yeah, I'm just wondering if he'll be on the roster. He might survive through 26, probably cut in 27. And, yeah, just not very good. Pretty, simple, another just forgettable guy in the division who would lose to a lot of the guys we've talked about. You know, he probably beat a few of them. And did he have a fight book that got canned? No. Yeah, wouldn't be shocked if he's on that London card in a few months. If not, we'll see him when we see him. And overall, he's just, yeah, not that good. Pretty simple. He's just not that good. Simple. Next. Yeah, we end this page with a guy who was looking really good, but then got exposed for, oh yeah, he's still not that good. One of my boys, even though I gotta admit he's just the same guy he was before, just beating cans. You know, he was looking like a future guy in the division to back to where he always has been. One of my boys, so I gotta start being honest about Chase Hooper. Man, I like Chase, but yeah, we can be honest, this dude's never gonna break through. Every time it looks like he's going to, he loses. Goes on a nice winning streak, loses to fucking Hernandez, even with a bad stoppage. Still got beat up out of featherweight. Yeah, I just don't see him doing much at this point. He's gonna always be a pretty decent guy who can beat shittier guys, but yeah, he's never gonna be a top 15 guy or beat one of the higher echelon guys. We just not be able to see him develop to that extent, and I don't think we will. For as young as he still is, I guess don't see him improving enough at this point because he's had so much time. He still hasn't been able to. And even Alexander Hernandez is not a top guy. He just got fucking clipped, so his striking is still dog shit. And yeah, I guess really. I hate to be honest about Chase, 'cause I do like him, but I'm just struggling to see him really breaking the cycle of just being mid. From being like one of the guys, a guy who was good, but never able to break through. So, like, he's good, but again, he's like top 35 in the division good. He's not gonna be able to beat one of the higher guys or ever get ranked. And yeah, we just never not seen him improve enough. The lightweight made him better, but he still had the same issues, some of the same issues from before. And yeah, not really too much else to say. Hate to be harsh on one of my favorite fighters, but eventually, just gotta be honest, is he ever gonna improve enough to really break through that glass ceiling? I say no. He's gonna stay like a top 40 to 35 guy, and yeah, win a few and then lose to a better guy. So, not really much more to say there. Sorry, Chase, but I gotta be honest, just don't see him breaking through ever at this point. That he's had enough chances and time, it still hasn't happened. Not sure what else we need to, how much long we can wait. Not very much else to say. Next, another page down, and let's take a look at who we got. And we begin with another OG of the division. Not gonna say much here because they're about to talk about him very soon. So, because he's fighting in a few weeks and gonna beat Alexander Hernandez. We got an OG of the division, one of the kings of making no sense if you look over his resume. We have MJ, another one of the most basic names ever. He should fight Mike Davis for who has the most basic name. We have Michael Johnson. I will always think of Marshall Mind's quote or video title or whatever when he used him in a video, and that's calling him the best worst fighter ever. I think it's the best way to describe MJ. He's really good and really bad. He somehow has wins over Tony and fucking Poirier, but he also will turn around and have losses to Darren Elkins, fucking Diego Ferreira, Jamie Malarkey, etc. So, but he's going on a nice streak ever since 2023. He's won 3 in a row. Not against great guys, Flowers, as I turn, as a Huber, but yeah, he's gonna make it 4 in a row in a few weeks against Hernandez. He's still decent. He's still very decent. Still got bombs in his hand. Still a very decent fighter. And he's never not been a good fighter. He's just, for some reason, has lost to guys he shouldn't have, and he's beat guys he shouldn't have. So, but that's the MJ way. He doesn't make fucking sense. He's the best worst fighter ever, and yeah, he's gonna win. He'll win in January and then fucking turn around and lose to, like, he would turn around and lose to, like, fucking that Kroshenski guy or some shit. Like, he doesn't make a lick of sense, but that's why I really like MJ. Excited to see him beat Hernandez in a few weeks. And, yeah, at what, almost 40? He still got it. Still, what, a top 30 to 25 guy in the division? Oh, fuck, if he beats Hernandez, or you make a case for a top 15 shot, why not? How high was he ever ranked? 5th. Crazy. He's good. He's still good. Still got it. Gonna beat Hernandez. The best worst fighter ever. And, yeah, if you ever have to show someone, if you ever have to tell someone MMA doesn't make sense and they don't believe you, show Michael Johnson's record. They'll believe you then. Not very much else to say. Excited to see him win in a few weeks. Who doesn't like MJ? I don't like predicting him because he makes no fucking sense, but that's MJ for you. What else can you say about the OG? Next, oof, we got a bad stretch of fighters here. Beginning with someone who I think's a complete can and never should have been signed back, proving my point that bringing fighters back never works. We have a guy who I still think completely sucks from his first run, and I've not seen anything on this second run to prove me otherwise. We have, is he the only Welsh fighter left on the roster with fucking Jack Shore retired? We have Mason Jones. why the fuck was he brought back? Like, I don't care that he won in Cage Warriors. Cage Warriors is dog shit. Like, and so was Mason Jones. I truly think this kid fucking sucks. He got cut after losing a few in his first run, won in Cage Warriors, came back, won 2 unimpressive fights against Steven Inoki, where he made this fight boring, and this Oki is garbage. And, yeah, I think Mason Jones is garbage as well. I don't think this kid is that good at all. I think I think there's a lot of guys that beat him. Fuck, would Jai Herbert beat him? I think there's a fucking debate to be made for that. I just don't think this guy's good at all. And, yeah, I think he's gonna fall on his face again like he did in his first run, because he's just not good. So, pretty simple. Not much else to really say. I'm not gonna hype this kid up like everyone else. I don't think he's good. And, yeah, there you go. Not much to say. He's just not all that at all. Never thought he was. Never gonna be. And again, proving the point that fighters should never been brought back after getting cut, because they never work out, because they're not good. If they suck the first time, they're gonna suck the second time. I think Mason's gonna fall on his face again, just like he did the first time. Because he's just not good. There you go. But thank God we get to talk about the GOAT next. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste much time here, because I highly doubt this dude's gonna fight again in the UFC. It's the GOAT, the one and the only one. I think of the greatest fighters of all time. If this ain't the first name to leave your lips, you're casual. We have the GOAT himself, Anshan Jubilee. What can I say here? I highly doubt Jubilee's gonna fight again. I think he's for sure getting cut. If he does fight again, I won't be upset, because who does not love Jubilee fights? He's gonna lose because he's fucking garbage, but memes. But yeah, I highly doubt he fights again. But maybe they want to feed him to someone. Sure, why not? But more than likely, yeah, I don't think he's gonna do shit. I don't think he's gonna fight in the UFC again, because he's fucking garbage. So that's kind of proving how bad road to UFC it really is. If you're looking at it, like 1 or 2 dudes have worked out, the rest has been garbage, and Jubilee is definitely bad. Not really much else to say. Shocked he hasn't been cut yet. Probably will be soon. Or if they want to see him get beat up one more time, sure, why not? Dude sucks. Shocked he's still signed. But we all know, really, he is the GOAT. Next, another guy I don't think very highly of. Another kind of overrated guy in the division who I never thought was that good. And I still don't think that good. We have, where is he? Another one of the more inactive dudes in the division. We have the, in my opinion, very overrated, because I just never thought he was that good as much as other people want to think he is. We have Drakkar Klose, 37 years old. I know he's won more than he's lost in UFC, but I don't think he's beat anyone that good. He looked terrible in that Barbosa fight. I've never seen anything special in this guy. People have hyped him up as being something good. I never saw it. The Dariush fight was okay. I'll tell you that. Like, what has this dude done? Beat subpar fighters and be super inactive for most of his career? Am I meant to be impressed with that? Like, I don't think this dude's good at all. I don't think he's top 15 level at all. And yeah, I've never seen the hype. I see the hype with Mike Davis more than I see with Klose. I think Davis would wipe the floor with Drakkar. So, yeah, I just really don't see anything in Drakkar that's like warranted the hype or respect people have given him. Like, he quit like a little bitch against Jeremy Stevens when he pushed him. It's like, yeah, I just don't think this guy's that good. He never proved to me that he's that good. When he beat a super old Edson Barboza and Joaquin Silva. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think this dude's that good at all. I don't think he's even like top 30. He might be top 40 in the division. I think that's a reach. I've never seen anything special with him, so yeah, not very much else to say. I just don't think he's that good. Pretty simple. Never really seen the hype with him. There you go. Next, another one of the more mid fighters in the division. A guy I can't call good or bad. Again, I just think he's perfectly mid. We have everyone's favorite. Unlike Payne Talbot, we got a guy. He hasn't completely confirmed. We question him a bit. We have not Mike Morales is a different story. We have another one of the more mid guys in the division, but who doesn't like this guy? Jordan Levitt. Yeah, Levitt's cool. What else can you really say? Again, I think he's one of the more premier mid guys in the division. Never terrible, never gonna be great. Can beat shitty guys, never really been able to beat halfway decent guys. Not the most active. Is he getting older? No, he's only 30. Yeah, not really active. They have number 50, and I think that's fair. He's perfectly mid. His career highlights Paddy fucking on him pretty much after beating him. Yeah, he's fine. I can't say anything bad about Jordan. I think he's perfectly fine. Is he ever gonna be a top guy? Hell no. Is he ever gonna lose to tomato cans like fucking Jubilee or whatever? No. But yeah, he's perfectly mid. Like, if you told me he was the 50th best lightweight, I'd be like, yeah, I agree. He probably is. So, yeah, I think he's perfectly mid. Not as perfectly mid as Rafa Garcia. I think he's a little better. But, yeah, about on a trajectory. Maybe a perfect mid fighter in Levitt. Can't really say anything bad about him. He's cool. Pretty simple. Next. Not much else to say. God, and even less to say about this guy, because most people have probably never seen this dude in their life, and this dude is a Jordan Levitt victim. And next we have a guy who another guy I doubt fights in UFC. I don't even know why he got signed to begin with. We have a guy who got knocked out by Jordan Levitt, of all people. Victor Martinez. Another guy I forgot about. 34 years old, 0-2. Got signed back in 2021 and has fought twice since. Good job. Levitt knocked him out. Nolan beat him. Actually did pretty decent against Nolan more because Nolan is fucking garbage. And yeah, I don't think either. He took all of 2025 off. Oh no. Yeah, he did. Took all of 2025 off. Last fought in May of 24. If he fights again, he's gonna get beat. If he gets cut on a random day of the year, won't be shocked he hasn't been cut yet. He's fucking terrible. And yeah, what else can you really say? Most people probably don't even know this dude's here, so no, I can't really say. Either you didn't get cut or take one more L before getting cut. Something we've said for a lot of guys so far, but it's true. Yeah, I should say it's true with Martinez. Not very much else to say. Shocked he's still here. Next, okay, this one's kind of interesting. A guy who I guess you can call a prospect, even though I don't look at him as really a prospect. I think he's kind of fraudulent to an extent, kind of on the verge of getting fraud checks sooner than later. Where is he? Either they have him ranked there he is. A little lowly ranked, I would say. The very decent in UFC so far, even though again probably a bit fraudulent. Marquel Medeiros. Yeah, he's 3-0 and he's not looked terrible, but have you looked that good either? This was a kind of shitty performance. He looked good here, but again, that guy looked fine here. Yeah, I really don't see it with this guy. He's fine, but again, I struggle to call him a prospect. I think he's mid at best. I think a lot of guys would beat him. Like, I'd take Rafa and Levitt, the more mid guys, to beat him. He's there. He's nothing special at all. Again, I don't think anyone's really gonna call him as like one of the prospects to watch in the division, because he's not. He's just another guy in the division who hasn't really been. He was not a complete tomato can. He's fine. I don't think he's anything special at all. Again, I'm not gonna call him a prospect. I don't think he is. I think he's just a perfectly fine fighter who's been able to beat up on shit guys, and eventually will have to fight up and probably lose. So, not really much else to say there. Can't say anything bad about him. Just being honest, he probably is a bit fraudulent and will probably get beat sooner than later by much better competition unless he surprises and is actually really that good, but I'm gonna say that's unlikely, and yeah, just don't see him. I just really don't see him as some prospect, because let's be honest, he's not. He's just a perfectly fine fighter. But after him, we got the legend himself, a man that I don't need to waste any time on, because what can I even say about him that hasn't been said already? The most fights in UFC history, a first ballot Hall of Famer, a legend, etc., etc. We have the man that needed no introduction or explaining, Jim Miller. The man with the most fights, the man who's going to end his career at 50 UFC fights, and he's not far off. I think he only needs like 3 more in the ballpark. He'll retire at 50, 42 years old. Has not fought since April, so hopefully we see him in there at least twice. So probably 2027 retirement, I would imagine, because I think again it's 3 or 4 fights he needs, so again, probably like a 2027 retirement. He's still actually pretty decent. I would still call him like a top 35 guy in the division. He's never gonna beat higher echelon guys, but like he's won more than he's lost lately. Since the Selecki fight, he could easily, I think he can make a case for winning this fight. And if you give him that fight, he would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 in his last 9 fights. So he's so decent. I think he'd beat a lot of guys who we've talked about. And yeah, not much more to really say. Like, what needs to be said about Jim Miller outside of he's a legend, first ballot Hall of Famer, gonna retire at 50 fights, and how can you not like and respect Jim? So, legend. Gonna be sad to see him retire on fight 50. Hopefully he goes out on a win, and there you go. Hopefully he makes the UFC 400, but I doubt it. Not really much else to say. A few more fights for legend until Jim Miller actually retires, which sounds insane to actually say. It might actually happen. What else can you say about a fucking the definition of a legend? Next, from definition of a legend to a guy who has been the definition of average, decent, whichever term you want to use there. As next we have the very decent, do they have him ranked really low, or do they, there he is. The, again, very decent, but not right, anything more than decent would be a stretch to call him. We have Thiago Moises. What can I really say about Thiago? He's fine. He wins a few, loses a few, never been able to beat the top guys. Best win is what? Michael Johnson. Lost to really all the top guys he fought. He's fine. Again, I'd say above average, but not by much. Like another top 35 guy in the division, top 30 maybe. He's fine. Nothing special about him. He's again perfectly decent. Like, he would beat a lot of guys, but he can't really beat the higher guys. He's decent. Like, pretty simple way to describe him. So, yeah, not much to say there. He'll come off a loss, he'll bounce back with a win, and he'll probably lose again. So, he's very decent. What else can you say? How much is it? I think that's just the perfect way to describe Moises. Not very much else to it. Next, from a guy who's decent to a guy who's not good, but at least, you know, he has a fun fight or two. Next, we have the guy coming out for one of the best fights of 2025. Too bad, God, who knows how much damage he took, and he can't really make this dude much worse. We have the, again, coming off one of the best fights of 2025, even though he didn't win it, and God, did he take some damage. Not good at all, but entertaining. Nicholas Mota. Yeah, what can you say about Mota? He's had one of the best knockouts of the year done on him, and one of the best fights of the year with someone he lost both of them. Did fraud check Tom Nolan, which was fucking hilarious, and just shows how awful Tom Nolan is. Outside of that, yeah, Mota's not good at all. We can be blunt about it. Like, yeah, he had 3 wins in UFC, and against complete tomato cans. His losses are against good fighters, and Trey Ogden. Yeah, that's just about the long and short of it. He's good cannon fodder. He's gonna put up a good fight and be a good highlight reel for whatever guy you want to build up most of the time. And, yeah, that's about that. Great fight with Nazim. Still lost it. Still don't think he's any bit good, but, you know, again, he's a tough son of a bitch, and he's always good. He's tough cannon fodder for whatever guy you want to build up. If you're a shitty guy they want to build up like Tom Nolan, you'll probably lose. But outside of that, yeah, not much to say about Mota. Still don't think he's that good at all, but, you know, had a good, great fight, and he's not a complete pushover. This pushover will fight back a bit. Cool to see. Not very much else to say. Next, speaking of pushovers and mid, actually I wouldn't call this guy a pushover. He's just another really mid fighter in the division. We have the maybe the king of no durability at lightweight, Jamie Mullarkey. Ooh, yeah, what can you really say about Mullarkey? He's skill-wise very mid, on the level of like a Jordan Levitt. And durability-wise, he has fucking none. He's on the level of Matt Frevola. Coming off a win against Goya, looked meh. Another guy who can't really beat better competition. Has Michael Johnson, his best win. Most people think he lost that. Lost to everyone else he's fought. Who's decent, beat a bunch of bad fighters. What else is there to really say? Mullarkey is mid, no durability at all, but again, skill-wise, he's perfectly fine. Not really much to say. Yeah, there you go. Not much to say there. Yeah. I don't know what I'm thinking. I feel like there's some more I could say, but I don't fucking know it, so there you go. Next. Oh god. Speak of a devil that we've talked shit on for about 2 hours. Let's just get him out the way now, because this dude's fucking terrible. We have one of the biggest frauds in UFC who no one can convince me is good, because he's not a complete tomato can who's gonna lose the second he fights anyone with talent, and has almost lost to guys with no talent. And Nicholas Mota, who beat him. And have a complete fraud, Tom Nolan. Yeah, this dude's fucking garbage. I don't care what anyone says. No one can convince me he's good. Lost to Nick Mota and said that he beat Grod, whose ass. Martinez, whose ass, and he looked terrible. Reyes, he looked terrible in his ass. Slava, who's let's be honest, not that good. And Campbell dropped him. This dude has no durability. He's not good at all, and he would lose to, like, he's not even top 50. Like, Jordan Levitt would wipe the floor of him. It's not even funny. This dude's garbage, and nothing can convince me otherwise. Pretty simple. Can't wait to watch the dude lose again the second he fights anyone with a lick of talent. And Adri's almost in. Might I need that? Might lose to dudes with no talent. He already has. And yeah, this dude fucking sucks. I don't know what else you want me to say. Pretty simple. Next. We end this row with a guy who actually had a lot of hype at one point. Well, not a lot of hype, but had a little bit of hype and was looking pretty decent. Now, I don't know where the fuck this guy has went. He entered 2025 with some hype and hasn't fought since the first card of the year. Yeah, the guy who's took 1-0 and fucked off. A coach, actually. Trey Ogden. I hate to keep saying it, but just another mid-fighter. Ogden is actually a coach. This is his gym, so maybe that's why he's taking so much time off. 36 years old, was actually on a nice little run. A nice little 3-fight winning streak for Moises. Easily beat him. That first card of the year, and I haven't seen him since. He's not the most skilled. He's okay. Good wrestler and really no striking. Again, nice 3-fight winning streak, but yeah, that's when his gym was actually really riding high, and then they've all started losing since. Yeah, Ogden's old. He's a coach more than a fighter, it seems. We'll see him sometime in 2026, I'd imagine, but yeah, I doubt he's gonna do much fighting. Wouldn't be shocked if he retires sooner than later to just focus on coaching. So, I think maybe 1 or 2 more fights and he'll probably do that. And, yeah, pretty simple. I actually forgot about him a bit, to be honest. He's not bad by any means, but he's there. He's a good wrestler who could beat guys with no grappling. Not really much more than that. Decent coach. Coached a few okay fighters. And, yeah, I think was it Miles Johnson, like Dan Argueta? Oh no, Garrett Armfield, Mike Breeden. So, yeah, not the highest level of talent, but you know. Yeah, we'll see if we see Ogden come back in 2026, or maybe he'll just retire now and focus on coaching. We'll see. Perfectly mid-fighter right now, I keep saying that, but that's the trend we're on. 1, 2, 3, if you want to say most mid, 5, 6 guys on this page were mid. So yeah, Ogden's fine, nothing great. If you see him again, cool. If not, understandable. Not much to say. There you go. Let's go down a page again. Now we're getting close to the bottom. You can't see it here, but I think 2 more pages. Let's see how long this page takes. Some interesting fighters on this list. Being with another pretty bad fraud on the list. As to make sure no one gets skipped over on the jump down. As we have next up another guy who's gonna complete fraud and is not good at all. We have a guy who I've forgotten. I already thought this guy was gonna be something. Balaji Oki. Yeah, this dude sucks. This dude's been completely fraud checked for just being shit. Like, even from the jump, we kind of thought in all 4 of his UFC fights, he looked terrible. Timmy Kwamba, he barely beat. Chris Duncan submitted him, which is understandable, but still, that's when we thought Duncan was ass and Oki was good. As well, gave him a decent fight, and Pryor would beat him on a full camp, and Mason Jones beat him. Enough said. Yeah, Oki's terrible. He's not that skilled. He doesn't even really have that good of power. He's just a complete fraud. He put his best work in the Contender Series. Hasn't really got good, or was even good beforehand. And, yeah, what else is there to really say? He's just not a really good fighter, and, I think we've seen that pretty much proven. 2-2. Won't be shocked if he gets cut. If he loses 2 more in a row and got cut, or even 1 more in a row, and that would be the nail in the coffin. He's not good at all. And yeah, I think Nicholas Moda is better. So I'd easily pick Moda to beat him. Oki's extremely shit, not good, below average, and yeah, piece of shit. What else am I meant to say? Next. I'll save the GOAT for welterweight because I think that's the weight class he should stay in. But someone who is not a welterweight, and we will talk about, is a guy who had a really weird 2025 in his 2 fights. We have a guy who looks like he could be an interesting prospect, but you know, we'll see. We have Taco Chris Padilla. Yeah, this guy had a really weird 2025, didn't he? Debatable robbery win over Jai Herbert, and then a really weird, debatable if he threw the fight against fucking Ismail Bonfim. That Rong Ju win is aging perfectly. Yeah, Padilla's had a weird year. The dude has talent. We've clearly seen that in a few of his wins. But what the fuck happened here? I'm confused what happened there. If he can show up at his best consistently, this guy could be in the top 20, maybe a top 20 guy in the division, top 25. I don't think he's top 15 level, truly. It'd be cool, but I doubt it. But I could see top 25. He's decent. He's a very decent fighter when he shows up at his best. And, really weird 2025. That Herbert fight, still worrying, but he did bounce back into Bonfim really well. And we'll see how Eric Andre does in 2026. Hopefully no robbery wins over tomato cans or debatably thrown fights. We'll see what happens. Not really much to say there. And yeah, I liked Padilla. I really do think he's a good fighter when he's at his best. Top 25 looks very possible for him, and you know, as 2026 goes, hopefully less weird and more dominating good performances. We'll see though. Still got robbed of a bonus against Bonfim. Give the man some, and actually against Laurent Top more than anything, and wrong. You give the man a goddamn bonus, Dana. What the fuck? Next, I'll save him for welterweight, because that's where he fought last, and he's fucking terrible, so next. Oh god, we got a big 3 of ass in this next one. Let's get through real quick, beginning with some Canadian ass, who hopefully gets cut sooner than later again. Another scenario where I was right that bringing fighters back never works. We have the tomato can himself, Kyle Prepelic. Yes, this dude's garbage. Worse than Kyle Nelson. Why did he get brought back? Just a job to Benoit, and actually did a halfway decent job, and job to Drew Dober. Don't give him another fight, cut him on the spot. He's fucking garbage. He sucked the first time, he sucks the second time. He lost to Austin Hubbard. This dude's a joke. Next. Speaking of people who need to be cut, let's get right to another one. I guess they're all 3 in a goddamn row here. We have another guy who at one point looked like a prospect and now is on a 3-fight skid, hopefully getting cut soon. He does desk work for the UFC, so hopefully that doesn't keep him. He can do that, just don't fight. We have the one move wonder, the Peruvian Ryan Hall, Claudio Puelles. You remember when this dude was a legit prospect and we thought he was gonna beat Dan Hooker? Good times. Yeah, this dude's fucking garbage. Outside of a heel hook, he has no idea how to fight. He's fucking terrible, and yeah, I said it after the Jack Queen Silva loss, and I said, here, cut him. It's cool that he does desk work for the UFC. He can do that all he wants, but yeah, he needs to get cut. He's fucking terrible, and he's even in that Jack Queen Silva fight, he showed nothing improved from this guy who just does fucking M&R rolls because he has no idea how to do anything else. So yeah, he sucks. Cut him. Another case of Peruvian fighters being ass. And there you go. Not really much more to say. Cut him. I don't know how he's still on the roster. Well, you can do stupid desk work in the cage. I don't want to see him fight again. I don't want to see him roll for M&R rolls for 15 minutes. Get him the fuck on out of here. Next. Let's finish off this 3-pack of ass with another ass fighter who will be cut sooner than later. Cynthia Calfiola's boyfriend, and God, somehow she got with someone who's better, who's worse than she is. We have another tomato can. Court McGee's looking at him because he sucks. Court's good. Mitch is not. We have Mitch Ramirez. Tapology is worse than lightweight, and I struggle to disagree to an extent. 0-2 got destroyed by Davison Moises. Cut him, give him one more fight. I don't care. Give him one more fight, fucking have him job out to someone. Who gives a fuck? I doubt anyone cares. It's just an easy pick to pick him to lose, so yeah, have him job out to someone or cut him on the spot now. I doubt anyone cares. I know I don't. He's fucking terrible. Next. Oh boy, we finally get back to real fighters. Oh, fucking hallelujah. Next we have the human Iron Man. I don't know what the fuck this guy's made out of, to be honest. As next we have the psychopath himself who just walks into fucking punches. The man who I think might retire sooner than later for all the damage he's taken. Mateusz Rebecki. Dude, this dude in his last like 4 or 5 fights has taken a career's worth of damage, and it's fucking terrifying. We like Rebecki because he's entertaining and is a fucking human iron. It's not human, but yeah, what he's done in these last 4 fights has shortened his career by like 50 years. Like, it sped up his career clock tenfold. Great fights, all great fights. Great Oral by fight, one of the best I've seen. The Duncan fight was great. Klein fight he shouldn't have been in. Happy seems to be trying to take some time off. I'm fine if this guy takes all 2026 off, to be honest, with the damage he's fucking taken. So I would be okay, or at least find like December and take some time off and rest, dude. Like, he is pretty decent. Like, he's like a top 30 guy. He's not the most skilled. His striking's kinda but his grappling is good. His durability is not human, and fight might be gone at this point. And yeah, like, he might have one of the best stretches of. He might have one of the best 4-fight stretches of all time in terms of entertainment. Yeah, and damage taken especially. I like Rebecki. He's a fun fighter, but yeah, he's shortened his career tenfold. And who knows how many more fights we get of this dude. Hopefully he takes some time off. I don't want to see Rebecki fight till the earliest, like, August. And yeah, but he's good. I don't think he's like on the level of the better unranked guys, but he's like top 30. He's good. He's not human with the damage he can take, and yeah, this man has taken a. God, again, he might be retiring sooner than we think with the damage he's taken. Heal up. Don't want to see him fight anytime soon. And yeah, maybe the toughest man in the division. I'll easily say the toughest man in the division. This dude's not human. That's why we like him. Not much else to say there. Next, oh god, let's get another tomato can out the way real quick. I'm shy. I did not think this dude was still on the roster, but apparently he is. Yes, the brother of Dominic Reyes. We have Alex Reyes, when I would like to load Alex Reyes. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time here. He's probably gonna get cut instead of fight again. He's fucking terrible, and he is actually the brother of Dominic Reyes. But yeah, he did not get any of the talent from the fucking May tree, and yeah, he's fucking terrible. He's gonna get cut. I don't see him fighting again. His brother just got his fight booked, the first fight of 2026 booked. Reyes will hopefully be the first fighter of 2026 cut. He's terrible. Did not know he was still under contract, and yeah, he sucks. Next. Topology's running extra slow. Wow, this is a really good stretch of guys here. As next we have maybe the most exciting dude in the division. I think this is a strong debate to be made. A dude who had 2 top 10 Fight of the Year contenders in 2025. A fan favorite who should never be in the Apex again because he is way too good for that shit. Everyone's favorite fucking banger haver. A guy who never has a bad fight. Maybe the most exciting fighter on the roster. Esteban Ribovics. What can I really say about Esteban? He's one of the most, again, maybe the most exciting fighter in the UFC right now. Had 2 Fight of the Year contenders this year, 3 in a row, 4 of the year war-worthy fights. He's actually really good. He's still pretty, 29, so he's still decently young and getting better. Dude's really good. What can you really say? He's super entertaining. He's really good. Do I think being top 15? Maybe he would have to start fighting a bit smarter, and obviously no one wants to see him do that, so, we'll see. But he has a lot of talent. He would wipe the floor with a lot of the ranked guys like Hooker and Benoit, and yeah, he's one of the more entertaining guys. Like, again, 2 top 10 Fight of the Year contenders. Most people can barely get 1. This dude got 2. He's really good, entertaining. He gets the full package. If he could go on a run, the UFC would love to push him. But Argentinian, which has not a lot, the UFC would love to push him if they could, but I feel like more than likely he's just going to be a guy who's on cards and we all tune in to see. Don't put him in the Apex again, obviously, because he's way too exciting for that, but as a decent, prelim guy on pay-per-views or main card guy on fight nights, Ribovics is perfect for that. Rebo is really fucking good. Top 25 guy in the division and probably 22 in that ballpark. Solid guy, solid fighter, maybe the most exciting, at least in this division, if not the UFC. And one of the best unranked guys in the division. Can't wait to see him fight again in 2026. Not in the Apex. And what more can you really say? Who isn't a fan of Ribovics just because the dude never had a boring fight? He's pretty damn good on top. He's McKinney, but better. He never has a boring fight, and he's actually pretty damn decent alongside that, so there you go. Next. Ooh, a very intriguing name to look back on after 2025. Going into the year, I've been calling this dude Can Leaving the year, it was a little bit different. We have the maybe comeback fighter of the year. The more I've thought about it, we have Rong Zhu. Strong debate to be made for him being comeback fighter of the year for the reason of he entered the year looking like he's the same Can that he was when he got cut. Instead, he's now on a 2-fight winning streak, looking pretty good. This fight's canceled, don't pay any mind to that. Yeah, the rare time City Kickboxing has actually helped the fighter, and Rong Zhu looks pretty good. I'll say Zhu looks pretty damn good. Much better than he did, even in the Padilla fight. Looking like a solid prospect in the division, still really young. I would say respect isn't warranted. Again, if you take out Koji Horiguchi from the debate, I give Rong Zhu comeback fighter of the year. He had a good year, 2 wins, yes, against bad competition, but 2 wins nonetheless. And he's looking good. He's looked really solid. Top 35 guy in the division. I'm actually happy he pulled out the Sal Killed fight because I thought that was a stupid fight for him. And it was pretty decent. I'll say he's definitely a case of a bad fighter getting better. And yeah, again, rare time City Kickboxing has actually helped someone get better. This dude's improved. This dude's really improved, and we'll see how far he can go. How he can build on a great 25. Stay away from Quillen Falcode would be one of the ways to do that. And, yeah, again, is he comeback fighter of the year? I think a strong debate can be made for that. Started the year coming off a loss in the second UFC run, and Lily's probably going to have the same as its first, ending it with 2 wins, looking pretty decent, and maybe like a top 35 guy in the division. I didn't come back fighter of the year. Not really sure what is, and yeah, dude's gotten better. He's so happy he put out that Falcode fight, and see how he builds on top of this in 2026. Can he move to 3 or 4 in a row? Then he's really a hell of a comeback story. Let's find out how long this comeback story can go for Rong Zhu. After that, from a comeback story to a story of a guy who may be falling off, maybe not falling off, but a comeback story that, or not, a fall-off story that might have started. We have a guy who recently got kind of fraud checked. Is that what you want to call it? Like, he lost to Zion, but he looked pretty terrible in that fight. We have the guy who, a few weeks ago, was a top prospect in the division and now has definitely fell a few rungs. We have Nazim Sadikov, the winner of that fight of the year contender with Mata. Now he is coming off a piss poor performance versus Zion where he looked just bad. He got outclassed everywhere and finished, even though it was a terrible stoppage. Still, he was going to lose that fight anyway. And again, I guess the thing with him is, are you going to call that a fraud checking? I'm not, but I struggle to not at the same time. Another loss, especially in poor fashion, there's no debate at the fraud checking. I think Nazim's a good fighter, but I think we've kind of seen this coming eventually. Like in the Bonfim fight, he was not looking amazing. Again, Mota took him to his limits. Slava took him to a draw. Elder was beating him, if we're being honest, and he would have lost that fight without a doctor stoppage. So he's kind of been bailed out a few times, not able to get bailed out again. Outclassed by Ziam, who's really fucking good, so it's not like it's a bad thing, but again, he got completely outclassed. And now we see how he bounces back. Can he bounce back and show Ziam's just that fucking good? Because that could just be the case. It could literally be Ziam's that good, and there's really no issue with Nazim losing to him. Or he takes another L, can't bounce back, and he is a fraud, so I think it'll be interesting. I'm very intrigued to see what happens with Nazim if we are calling him a fraud by the end of 26, or if he's bounced back. Because he is a dude with talent, it seems. And he, bare minimum, he's at least going to be an exciting dude on the roster. But is he a fraud, or did he just run into a guy who's really good in Ziam? I'm intrigued to find out the answer to that question. And I think we're going to find out sometime 2026. Did he just get outclassed by a better fighter, or is he a fraud? I remember Rob, teammate, and all those guys at camp that's not doing the best right now after the last pay-per-view. See if he can bounce back. He has the talent, we think. Can he bounce back, though? We'll see. Next, a guy I'm more than excited to talk about. I would say the best unranked lightweight at the moment, the rookie of the year for 2025. A guy who really does not need much said, because what can you even say? The best guy outside the top 15 right now at lightweight, a guy who's looking like a future star. We have the 2025, in my opinion, rookie of the year, the very good future top 15 guy in 2026, future star, Quillen Falcode. What can I say? This guy is phenomenal. 3-0 in 2025, rookie of the year in my opinion, should be in the top 15, going to be in the top 15 sometime by the end. I'll say right now, by the end of the year, he's going to be in the top 15. He's going to be either as low as like 13, 14, 12, or he's going to be like top 10. Like, this dude's fucking phenomenal. Yeah, I won't be shocked to be the main events at Fight Night in Australia later in the year against like fucking Fiziev or Benoit. This dude does really good. Again, I'll say no second thought, he's the best unranked lightweight right now. Because he shouldn't be unranked. He should be ranked. He's really fucking good. He, again, coming off putting Nazareth in the dirt. Yeah, he's still looking for a new opponent for 325 with the wrong Jew pullout, but not too upset about that. Hopefully they find him a fight that actually makes sense, because I thought that fight was stupid from the jump. Yeah, the Ashmoose fight was not his best showing, but he bounced back. He's really good, man. His parents owned a bakery. Yeah, like, could he just be smoke and mirrors? Maybe. That Nazareth fight makes that kind of hard to see. That a guy who, let's say if he does get fraud checked, I really struggle to see a guy who did that to Nazareth getting fraud checked, but, you know, the belly of the beast, who fucking knows anymore with the UFC. I think this kid's good. I think this kid's really good. I think he runs circles around most of the unranked guys. I say the only guys who are better than him in the rankings are Ilya, Arman, Charles, and Max. I would say with 100% confidence he would beat everyone else. He'd beat Fiziev, Patty he would murder. Torres and Ziam are good, but I think Zalko's a bit better. This kid's good. I think this guy's gonna be a top guy. Maybe not a champion. Maybe a champion. But I struggle to see him beating a guy like Arman. But tell me he can't be top 5? I think this kid's good. I think this kid's gonna be a problem. Again, to starch Nazareth the way that he did, go 3-0 in a year and look as good as he did. They need Australian stars, with a lot of them fading. I think Zalko's gonna be the next Australian star, or the New Zealand Australian. I've never learned the difference between those flags. I don't think most people know them. This kid's legit. I think this kid's good. Cannot wait to see him fight in February or in the end of January against whoever they find him. And yeah, definitely the top name in the division to keep an eye on. I'll just say that now, and I'll say it again at the end. If you want to know one name to keep an eye on in 2026 at lightweight, is Clone Zalkill. He is going to be an issue. And again, I say with 100% confidence that he will be ranked by the end of 2026. And he's good. I think he'll end 2026 with like 2 more wins. I'll say 12-1, top 15, maybe even 13-1. This kid's legit, and I think we'd be looking at one of the best lightweights. Maybe not the best. Again, him beating Arman and Ilya is a bit of a stretch, but top 15 guy for sure. I see it. He's damn good. And let's see how his sophomore year goes. Let's see how he builds on a Rookie of the Year award winning 2025. The kid's good, and I cannot wait to see him fight again and build on top of his Rookie of the Year. Clone Zalkill, the name to watch in 2026. Next, we do this one last time as we start the final row of fighters, and most of them are not good. Yeah, this is a very weak final row, beating with an unk of the division. I don't think he's as old as some of the other guys. He's far from a spring chicken. Yeah, he's 36. We have the very old and decent, I guess he's alright. Made his grand return in 2025. We have from young and new prospect to old man, Joaquim Silva. Yeah, what a fucking downgrade from Southkill. No, not saying Neto BJJ is a bad fighter. He's actually pretty decent, but yeah, he's kind of just a guy in the division. He's fine. He can beat Cans or Jared Gordon. He loses to good fighters or Glennon Close. He's fine. The only thing anyone remembers him for is not beating Arman, but doing really good against Arman. Outside of that, he's done a pretty up and down, forgettable career. Coming off a win against Puelles, where he looked fine. Yeah, I doubt he has much more time on the clock. 36 years old, gonna be 37 in February. More than likely 2 or 3 more fights, I would imagine. He's fine. He doesn't have the longevity of a Jim Miller, and he doesn't have the skill of a Jim Miller either. He's fine. He's in the division. He's there. That's about what I can say. Is he a can? No. Is he a top fighter? Fuck no. He is fine. I would say even below guys like Levitt. He'd beat a lot of the guys we talked about, but it did be unimpressive wins, then no one would really talk about or care, so like I'm not trying to shit on the guy, but like, I just smile when I think Joaquin Silva, because no one ever does. He's just a guy in the division. An old dude in the division. Really all you can say about him. There you go. Next, speaking of fraud, the man who did get fraud checked pretty badly in 2025. Speaking of Rongju, the man that he fraud checked to start off his really decent year. A guy I was believing the UFC's hype on him. I thought he was going to be pretty decent, but instead he fought one time, lost it though, and didn't fight again. And we have the fraud, I'd probably say. Cody Steele. Yeah, I believe the hype. I thought this guy was gonna be decent. I used my lock tonight against Rongju. Lost. Did put up a fun fight, so we did show he's not scared to fight. He'll go in there and bang. But yeah, 30 years old, not the most MMA proven. He's some like pretty decent wrestler and all that, but MMA wise, only 8 fights, lost his haven't fought since February. Yeah, he's kind of just another failed hype job by them. So, like, he was a big name on their fucking BJJ or in BJJ grappling, whatever. You know, they lost a good fucking amount. Yeah, it was worth a try for them to give him a shot, but yeah, he doesn't seem to be the most skilled. Unless that Rongju fight he really bounces back and gets better from. I highly doubt it. Looks like he's gonna have a fun fight or two. Really that skilled? I don't think so. But maybe. I could see it. Maybe. Lightweight's Bo Nickel in terms of like his fucking story, I guess. Grappler turned fighter. So we'll see. We'll see how he bounces back in 2026 after losing for the first time. What can I really say? Probably a fraud, but can he bounce back and get better and be pretty decent? Maybe. Rongju's a respectable L the more we think about it. And let's see if Cody can bounce back and how he does in year 2 after losing his O. Not sure what else to say. So there you go. Not much else to say. Next, from not much else to say to nothing to say, because this is one of the most forgettable guys on the roster, and I've said that a good amount of times now. We have the very I don't even think good, below average. From God, we're just getting worse and worse in terms of prospects. We have Gage Young, I don't know. He's a guy on the roster. Yeah, this dude sucks. We have to be fucking honest about it. Elder beat him. He beat Machate, which is meaningless because Machate's ass. Yeah, this dude sucks. I see him being a fucking 3 strikes and you're out guy. Like, I think he'll probably lose his next fight or two, and get cut, or maybe even it will take us 3 losses. He's not good. I saw nothing in that Machate fight to show that he's good. Like, he beat Machate somewhat convincingly. That's not saying a lot, because again, Machate's ass, and what else can you really say? Yeah, this dude is just kind of looking like cannon fodder to better fighters. A guy who's lucky he got a short nose call because he was never gonna sniff the UFC outside of it. And, yeah, not much else to say there. He just does not look to be that good at all. And, yeah, pretty simple. I doubt anyone gives a fuck or even knows about Gage Young. And doubt anyone's gonna hear about him in 2026 either. Even if he fights, he's gonna be on some Apex prelims, probably losing, so there you go. Next, speaking of frauds, this is one of the bigger ones in the division. A man who has just completely fallen off the last year or so. We have a guy who formed with a year ago looking like a pretty decent prospect to now looking pretty much like a can, if we're being honest. A guy who, coming off a very embarrassing L, even if it was to a good fighter, still looked pretty shitty. We have Daniel Zellhuber. This guy looked like looked like a decent prospect. Really was able to bounce back from the Ogden fight and look decent for a few fights. And then the Rebovics fight, which he probably should have won, but whatever. Great fight, great building piece to something better. And then Michael Johnson kind of beats him with ease and embarrasses him when he's like minus 550, 850. And now it's like, yeah, like the Rebovics fight, you probably should have Ogden, find out your debut. MJ is good, but it's like, you probably should have beat him. At least if you didn't, you should have looked better than you did. He really didn't do a lot in that fight. He got dropped, didn't look that good. And now it's like, what are we gonna do with this guy? If he loses another fight, you cut him. I think it's a case to be made. Is he a talented fighter? I think he's average. I don't think he's on the level of guys like Rombetsky, Klein, guys like that, but I think he's much better than Rafa Garcia and Jordan Levin, Joaquin Silva. But it's like, so what, he's the 44th best lightweight? I'll even go up. He's what, the 39th best lightweight? Like, so what does that really mean? That really doesn't mean shit. I mean, he's kind of just there when he's looking like he's gonna be a little bit better than that. So, I don't know. We'll see if he can bounce back in 2026. God, does he need to, or we won't be talking about him going into 2027. And yeah, we've given him a few breaks, but that MJ fight, as good as MJ is, at least he should have looked better in that fight if he was gonna lose it. And now he's really on the back foot now. In a must-win situation next time out. We'll see if he can get that much-needed win. Time will tell, so he's gonna probably go down another fraud. The UFC run so far has just been really one nice winning streak surrounded by L's and a great fight at Noche. Do all he remembered for that Sphere fight, but outside of that, what has he really done outside of forgettable wins and bad losses? Next, talked about as well at featherweight. Down to the final three, and two of them are shitty. Beginning with the very terrible. We talked about his brother losing to Abdul Karim Al Sawadi. Let's talk about the better of the two brothers, I guess. From what I saw, this dude's garbage as well. His brother just lost in Cage Warriors. Haha. We have the George Hardwick's brother, who apparently is meant to be better, and God, that says a lot about George. We have Harry Hardwick. Yeah, this dude's garbage, just like his brother. This dude's fucking trash. He's gonna lose one or two more and get cut. His brother's a middleweight can. He's a lightweight can. Who's better? I guess Harry, but God, is that saying more about his brother being a joke? And, yeah, the Hardwick brothers are garbage. His brother was a failed Contender Series guy. He would have lost on Contender Series as well if he was on it. Instead, he gets a short-nosed call. Because that side guy even never been in the UFC, and he's probably not going to be in the UFC for long. Again, one or two more L's, people get cut. From what I saw, this dude's a fucking joke, and I don't think anyone's shocked by that. And, yeah, the Hardwicks are one of the worst brothers in the UFC in MMA history. And UFC's try to get these guys in the UFC, just they're not good enough. And, yeah, Harry 0-1, probably gonna end the year 0-2 or 3, and not in the UFC. The dude, just like his brother, is a fucking can. And just that simple. Next, a man who came back from retirement. Oh boy. Which still should not be allowed, but a man who's back from retirement, trying to get back into the top 15 and all that. See how, if he can. We have our third to last guy. I don't know, you'll see why in a bit. We have the back from retirement. What a great retirement. Jalen Turner. Not gonna say much here, good. Just talked about him a few weeks ago because he fought back in December. Still bullshit that he can just come back from retirement. In the retirement, that's fucking stupid, but whatever. Still hard to trust a guy who's clearly as mentally weak as Jalen. He's, again, a guy who's always shown the talent, but never been able to put it together fully. We'll see if he can finally put it together on this run post-retirement. I doubt it. I don't think he's gonna do much more than what he already did, which was look decent against bad fighters and lose to better ones. Not much to really go off of in his return fight, because he fought a 90-year-old Edson Barboza. Again, if Jalen can put mental shit behind him and fight at his best, he could be maybe a top 15 guy. I still think even that Jalen is worse than Rebovics and fucking Salkilled, etc. But he's like a top 30 guy in the division, probably like 27 or 26. He's decent at his best, but I just don't see anything more than decent. Again, mentally weak. Hasn't really shown anything since coming back after one shitty win against a grandpa, and actually the last good win was Euros Medic 5 years ago. So not really much more to say there. See how he does in year 2 after retiring, and yeah, maybe he'll finally hit his ceiling and be a top guy in the division. I doubt it. I see much of the same from before, losing to better guys and beating worse guys. And, but let's see. Let's see if we can put mental shit behind him and be the best Jalen Turner. And the best Jalen Turner is pretty decent. Can he just stop being mentally weak? Let's find out. And next, finally, we to our second to last guy. I'll explain where the last guy is in a minute, and not like that's gonna take long to get to, because our last guy here is a joke as well. Still better than a Hardwick, but yeah, well, you know why this dude's here. We have another terrible signing that no one understands from what I've seen, and after his debut, it doesn't make sense. Shem Rock. Why did they sign this guy again? To job out to Aliev? Yeah, this dude sucks. This is another guy I see being a 2 or 3 fight and you're done deal, and because he's gonna lose. Still better than Hardwick, but that's saying so little it's not even funny. Yeah, if this dude sucks, got outclassed by Aliev everywhere. He's not good at all. He's just here because he's a Patty buddy, which is fucking pathetic. And actually, out of Patty's buddies, he seems to be the worst one. Even Molly and Luke Riley are fucking better. And yeah, outside of being a Patty buddy, is there any reason this dude's here? No, he's not good. Next. But wait, there's one more guy to talk about that I completely forgot to talk about because he should have been here, but he's up here for the top 15 guys. We have the newest member of the lightweight division because he is finally moving up. We didn't talk about him with the featherweight. We'll talk about him now. Maybe the craziest, the most durable fighter in UFC history. Finally, at lightweight, Brian Ortega. God, I'm so happy to call him a lightweight. Years overdue, man. He should have been a lightweight after the Volkanovski fight, after either Yair fight. Like, he's wasted so much time at featherweight because he can't fight consistently due to that weight cut. I'm so happy he's a fucking lightweight now. He's gonna run through Moicano and be pretty decent at lightweight. Don't think he's obviously not gonna be a champion. He's a little bit too old. Maybe a few years ago, maybe. But he's a little older now. It's not gonna be guys like Max, Charles, etc. But I think he could easily, he's gonna beat Moicano, he would easily beat Chandler, and Fiziev would be fun, probably would win that. Benoit would be really intriguing. He would beat Patty easily if we're being, let's be honest, he would wipe the floor with Patty, etc., etc. Hooker, God, who knows what he would do to him. Ortega, I feel like everyone forgets for as shitty as he's looked in most of his fights lately, when he's not cutting that much weight, when he is at his best, Ortega is still a top guy. Even at featherweight, just can't make that fucking limit at bantamweight or at featherweight. Lightweight, there you go. He's going to be better. I think we're gonna see what's left of the best version of Ortega, who again, I think's always been a really good fighter, and I'm excited to see up at lightweight not killing himself to fight once a year. How can that Sterling fight shouldn't even fucking happened or been sanctioned? And now the weight issue's gone. He's up a weight class. He's still one of the more skilled guys at featherweight and now lightweight. He's gonna easily beat Moicano, and I'm just happy to finally be able to call this dude a fucking lightweight. Long overdue, really good fighter, a guy I've been a fan of for a while, and he's probably in the tail end of his career. How old is Ortega? I think he's like 34, I want to say. 34 years old, 35 in February. He's in the tail end, but at least his tail end's gonna end in his right weight class. Few more fights. Still show that he does have some talent left. Still one of the most durable fighter, and maybe the most durable fighter in UFC history. And so happy to be able to call him a lightweight finally. Gonna look great in that debut against Moicano. And long overdue weight change for Ortega to probably save his life more than anything. Long overdue, and so happy to call him a lightweight finally. And there you fucking go, finally. That's everyone. When had another better note than Shamrock, and that's not on I mainly just completely forgot to talk about Ortega. But there you go. Let's take a quick look. We didn't forget anybody. Almost 3 hours, somehow longer than the last two. God, welterweight's gonna be forever. Featherweight, not on the roster. Featherweight. Let's see, is there anyone we didn't talk about that's not just a featherweight? Bedoya got cut, Slava Claus got cut, Loic just got cut, all got cut. Hollowball got cut for the 9th time. Yeah, I think we got everyone. I think we hit the RDA the welterweight, at least I would say so. I think that's everyone. Not counting the last few guys we'll talk about. Joel's a welterweight. Oral by the welterweight. Cool. I'm happy with that. So, there you go. Finally, 3 hours later, all the fighters. Oh, finally. There you go. But wait, we got a few more guys to talk about. So let's talk about the few Contender Series guys from this season. Not much to say, not the greatest list of names, but a few names nonetheless. As we'll begin with Manuel Sosa. If I remember, he's a guy I thought was kind of a can. Let me make sure I'm not getting it mixed up with. So yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I think this dude's a can from what I remember. Shona got signed and didn't look that good. I think he's gonna be a pretty bad fighter and lose to guys that I thought you can see him being a big favorite and losing to someone because he's just not that good. I think one of the worst signings of the season. There's only, I would say, 3 that are really terrible, and I would say he's one of them. Was not that impressed, didn't look that good, and I think he's gonna get beat by guys who are probably projected to lose to him, so yeah, not very good. Maldonado Rat Garbage, that's his nickname. One of the oldest dudes to ever get signed on Contender Series. He's fun, Bellator guy, former Bellator guy, all wins by finish, fun fighter, good veteran to add for a few fun fights. Cool. Samuel Sanchez, the young guy, I think like 11-1 or some shit, or maybe 11-0. Looked fine, 22 years old, young guy. See how far he can go. Thomas Gant, another pretty old dude, 32 years old. Well, that you rumored to be the guy stepping in to fight Bobby Green a few weeks ago. Didn't happen. He won easily. Wrestler guy, DC friend, teammate, whatever. Looked good on Contender Series. See how far this guy can go. He's gonna need to start fighting soon because he's already in his early 30s. And let's see how far he can go from his age when he's starting his run. And I don't think he's gonna go the farthest, but I think he's decent. He could beat some guys, and have a decent little, maybe like 6 and man, I mean, what was a 5-2 run, something like that. And about that. And lastly, the meme. Again, a guy a lot of people know just for memes. We have John Pork, Magomed Zainukov, Islam's teammate John Pork, whatever you want to call him. I was not super impressed with him, to be honest. I don't think he's that good from what I saw. He looked fine, but let's be honest, is he really that good? I say no. Of course, not even close to the level of Islam, and that's saying a lot when I don't even think Islam's that good. He's fine, funny meme. Gonna have a very fine run. I don't think he's a complete garbage, but I don't think he's that great either from what I've seen. He's fine, overrated as fuck. Again, I don't think his Contender Series fight was that good at all. Shouldn't have probably been signed, to be honest. And, yeah, it doesn't make Islam happy, whatever. I think he's pretty mid, and, yeah, not very much else to say about John Pork. And finally, 3 hours later, there you fucking go. Jesus fucking Christ. How do we get longer than the featherweights and bantamweights? I didn't think it was fucking possible. We found a way, and there you go. Everybody done and dusted. It's a great weight class, and I'm tired of fucking talking about it. So there you go. To do the normal few things. Where do we begin with, I guess, my favorite GOT fighters in division? I like Ilya, I know that's a generic answer. Charles, a generic answer, but I don't care. Who else am I? Sal Kilt, I'm a big fan of. I like Chase, Ribovics, Padilla, Jim Miller, it's impossible not to like McKinney, Drew Dober. And of course, you gotta respect Edson Barbosa, the GOAT, and Sean Jubilee. Yeah, my most liked guys. Who would be my hate watch for the year? That's a good question. That's a really good question. Who is my hate watch? Like, Paddy is an option, but it's like, Ilya will do the work, and I worst the time it would take to hate on him enough. Tom Nolan, but I've already seen him get fucking chinned. Kyle Nelson, I've already seen him lose. Alexander Hernandez, maybe? But again, I've seen him lose. Grant Dawson, I've seen lose already. Chandler, do I say Chandler? I just can't fucking stand Chandler. Yeah, fuck it, I'll say Chandler. Like, he's just so unfucking bearable at this point. I want to see him lose and retire already. So yeah, I'll call Chandler my fucking hate watch, but Paddy's right up there as well. So, there's just not that many, like guys that you can really hate at lightweight. Most of them are pretty likable or forgettable. Outside of Paddy, Chandler, and Gaethje, who else can you really hate? So, yeah, fuck Chandler. Here's my hate watch. Who are the best prospects or guys to keep an eye on going into the year? Of course, again, Colin Salchow, #1 on that list, and no fucking debate. Any other ones? Let's see. Maybe Medeiros is better than I think, but I doubt it. Nurul Aliev would definitely probably be #2 on that list behind Salchow. Kai Fernandez is really fucking good. Padilla could be something. Ribovics, of course. Duncan, of course. Yeah, I would say those are probably the top names. Ignacio is always there to be decent. Yeah, I would say that those are top names against Salchow, #1, Duncan, #2, Aliev. Some really good names there. Some really good names to watch. And, yeah. We'll see how many of those guys can get in top 15 by a year's end. One of the last, who do I think is going to be gone by the beginning of next year? I think this whole row, these three could easily be gone. Hardwick, maybe they keep, but yeah, I think these two are gone. Prepelic's gone. Grishevsky, maybe. Reyes is gonna be gone. Shamrock will probably be gone. Zaitar should already be gone. Jubilee. Oki, I could see getting cut because he's just shit. Demir is gonna be gone. Maybe Young goes on a losing streak and gets cut. Wouldn't be shocked. Edson's gonna be gone for sure. Maybe Bonfim. Ogden might be gone. Poilus should be gone. Who else is there? Diego Fieta and Matt Frevola for just age-wise needs to go. Bobby Green needs to retire sooner than later. Kugan Green, Dariush needs to retire. Chandler needs to fuck off. Moicano is at the end of his rope. Who knows how much longer Hooker has. Maybe Charles retires if the Max fight goes bad. I'd say those are some of the top names of guys who could be gone at the end of the year. Which, I think that last one really hurts to say, but it's true. Second to last, I guess I'll ask, will Ilya be champion by end of the year if he decides to be? If he vacates, then obviously no. But if he decides to hold on to the belt, try and keep it, then yeah, no one's beating him. Armand, Max, anybody, they're not beating him, and he'll hold that belt as long as he fucking feels like. And finally, unless I'm forgetting one of the things, what fights am I most looking forward to that are either booked or not booked? Of course, anything involving Ilya again. Hopefully this dickhead, and I'll more be at welterweight. I would love to see Ilya and Arman, of course. Max and Charles is going to be great. Benoit and Hooker should be fun, at least. If we're just talking possible fights, Sal killed again. Kent, he's maybe the guy I'm most excited to see fight again. Rebovic is always going to be must-watch TV. Duncan's exciting. Terrence McKinney is self-explanatory. Jim Miller climbed to 50 fights. It's going to be cool. Not many guys you can really say, oh, hopefully they end their year layoff. Because unlike featherweight and bantamweight, there's not that many guys here who haven't done that. So I'd say those are some of the top names in that regard. And there you go. Not really much else to say there. Only thing left saying is the last time we got to talk about this, because of welterweight and up don't got it. The road to UFC fight for lightweight. Maybe the weakest one, if you want to say that. I'm not against that theory. I still think this is better than the Tao fight in terms of like the guy we're getting. And for the lightweight road to UFC, Dom Marfan versus Sang Yuka Kim. More than likely, Dom Marfan's gonna win this, and he'll be a decent addition to the roster. Only 2 losses to Kwon Sal killed, which obviously that's more than understandable. Fam's decent, not the most exciting, but just a very decent fighter. Should be a good addition. If Sung Yu Kim wins, it's gonna be like, yeah, I don't see Kim doing anything in the UFC if he does win, so, and again, I don't think Dom Mar's gonna go the farthest either, but I still think he could rack up a few wins in probably unimpressive fashion, but wins nonetheless. And yeah, again, probably the weakest of the 4 road UFC fights. At least this, like, Tao's a really entertaining fighter to get. Dom Moore is kind of just good, but kind of boring. And either way, I think lightweight's gonna be getting a very underwhelming signing. So there you go. Not really too much to say there. Again, not even close to the level of these two. And yeah, that's about that. Big night for the lightweights. See how it goes. But there you go. I'm done talking about lightweight. 3 fucking hours. Are you kidding me? It's a great weight class. As shitty as the top 15 is, really looking at it, there's so much talent outside of it. Like, dude, some of the names there are the top. If you made the 16th best guy to the 30th best guy at lightweight on unranked guys, could easily be a top 15. Sal killed, Rebovic, Duncan, fucking McKinney, who's good, but like Bahamondes, Rafa Garcia's okay, Nazrat, Gordon, fucking Padilla, Rombetsky, Fernandez. Like, there's Alia, Rongju, there's so much fucking talent. And it's just such a deep, good weight class. As bad as the fucking top 15 is for some of the guys who are in it, the rest of the weight class is phenomenal. It's maybe the deepest weight class, and maybe the weight class that demands the most skill, if we're being honest. It's lightweight, what can really be said? It took 3 hours to talk about everyone because everyone's just that damn good, most of them. Very few tomato cans. And, yeah, what can you really say? It's 155. Respected for a reason. Maybe there's a high skill gap or skill level for a reason. They're all really damn good. You need to make it in this division. And, I think it's going to be a really good year for the division in 2026. Let's see what happens. Should be interesting, should be fun. Now I'm tired of talking after 3 fucking hours, and we got one more weight class that could take that long. We'll be doing that tomorrow. Oh joy. So there you go. Not much else to say there. Tired of talking. How are these getting longer? The welterweights might be 4 hours, truly. Thank God after that you got shitty ones like middleweight, which shouldn't take long at all. After the welterweights, none of these should be even close to this long. Because middleweight, light, heavy, strawweight, flyweight, bandweight, none of those should take that long. And, there you go. So, I'm tired of talking. I hope I never break this record for my longest video. I love doing this. I hope y'all are enjoying it. God, these are a long bitch to make. And, at the end of the day, let's see what happens at lightweight 2026. that being said, I'm done talking by saying, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs goal by the end of 2026. And as always, I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am. I think it would be borderline impossible for me to be forgetting something after 3 hours. I say, as always, never doing another 3-hour video outside of this bullshit. As always, RX out. Good vibes only. And